Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Okay, we will Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So today we will start our session with Subha Mataji's doubt. Please go ahead, Mataji.
No, as
Soul is indestructible.
the soul is eternal, so it cannot be created, it cannot be
Yes.
destroyed.
Yes.
So does that mean in the entire universe there are finite number of souls?
Yes. Yes, there are finite number of souls, and since you asked this question, almost 2/3 of the souls are already there in spiritual world. We are only 1/3 of the spiritual population, which we are in the material world. Across different Brahmandas, our population is only 1/3. Yeah, 1/3. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so when I just added additional information for your question, yes, it is indestructible and it is a finite number of souls are there, and yeah, finite number of souls are there, and as I said, the population around 2/3 of the population is there in around 2/3 of the population is there in spiritual world, and 1/3 of the population is there in the material world. When I say material world, it's not only our Brahmanda, different Brahmandas emanating from Lord Vishnu. So the population across different Brahmandas comprises of 1/3 of the population.
Which includes all the
Animals,
animals.
yes. The dinosaurs might be extinct in this Brahmanda, but they might be there in another Brahmanda. Yes, it is there. Yeah. But once the soul goes back to spiritual world, it never comes back. Yeah. That's why we say going back home, back to Godhead. We never say I go to home. Back home, back to Godhead, because once we were there at that place, and we need to go back again. That's why we say going back home, back to Godhead. तो जो छोटा सा स्टूल है क्या by any chance? No problem. Okay, so quick recap of the previous chapter. So we are in today 6th chapter, that is Dhyana Yoga. Let me put it in slideshow. Yeah. So today's chapter is 6, but it is chapter 5. Chapter 5 is about, we have learned again 4 lessons in the 5th chapter. So first chapter, and the acronym used for the 5th chapter was STEP. STEP means, S means stay in the world. So Krishna was, insisted Arjuna to continue doing the Nishkama Karma Yoga in this life itself, and while you are working in this world, you have always, we need to think of 2 aspects. When we stay in this world, we think of 2 aspects. One aspect is attachment towards the process of whatever the work we do. Other is attachment towards the result of the work we do. Confusing? One thing is getting attached to the work we do, and another thing is getting attached to the result of that work we do. For example, most of us in IT field, so when we do a project, some people enjoy the project completion and the results after that, appreciation, client recognition. They are attached to that, but they hate the process of doing the project. But some people enjoy the process itself, doing technical stuff, designing, architecting, and later with the results they don't care. So there are different aspects. Some people in the project, they love to do the project rather than worry about the project result. So product release. So like that, there are different people in the material world where people are either attached to the process of work, or either they are attached to the result of the work. The example what I have taken was also jalebi and jalebi preparation devotee, and rasgulla preparation devotee. So one Mataji who likes to cook very much. She likes to cook. Basically, everyone appreciates for her cooking skills, and she likes that. Everyone, she cooks very nicely, and everyone appreciates. And after, she loves that journey of cooking, and she expects the result also. is the rasgulla good or not? If someone says rasgulla is not good, ఎక్కడో గుండెలో కలెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. थोड़ा हार्ट में थोड़ा दर्द होता. So she is attached to the work as well as result. And there is one Prabhuji who simply he does jalebi very good, and he prepares the jalebi and he leaves off. He never bothers about how the jalebi is, whether they are giving appreciation to me or not and all. So the same thing you can correlate to each and every work you are doing. Any work you are doing, there might be some aspect where either you are attached to the process of the work or you are attached to the result of the work. Correction. So there are cases where a single person is attached both, both for the process and result also. There is a possibility of getting attached to the only process, not a result. There is a possibility of not attaching to the process and only attaching to the result. And there is a possibility no attachment to the result or process. There are some permutations and combinations, but basically what we need to understand is these are the two aspects of this life. Every work you do, always we tend to either today my kid went to a kickboxing competition. Right after the competition, after this session, I need to go to Gachibowli Stadium to see him. So yesterday he was in full josh. I need to tournament and all. I have defeated all these guys in my community. I am expecting at least a silver medal. I should expect. See, with an expectation of result, he is going. So I told him, why you are worrying about the result? Try to give your best. The rest leave it to Krishna. So we can, each and every activity in our life, we can correlate with these two aspects in any manner. So Krishna, the first step what he was mentioning was step. In that step, S is stay in the world. Krishna doesn't mean stay in the world completely. So he means that while you are staying in this world, you need to understand these aspects. So you should understand these aspects and try to detach from these two aspects. Either don't get attached to either work or result. But you give your best. In whatever work you are doing, you give your best, rest leave it to Krishna. Krishna knows better than us. That's what the point he was saying. Okay, so that is stay in the world, and always he was mentioning, sakam karma yoga are attached to both sakam karma yoga people. The people who are performing sakam karma yoga are attached to both. When I say attached to both, for both work and the result. Generally, sakam karma yoga people, you might be seeing across in our community also. They love doing work, and also they love getting the recognition also. Externally they might say, naade undandi ananta, but the internal feeling is there, no? That I am the doer. So that kind of a mentality. So thing is, they do things along with they might follow the Vedic scriptures. There is nothing. See, as I said, each and every there is a step-by-step process. One cannot expect a person right from the day one that he should be detached from the work and result. But what it is said is, it is a step-by-step process. If you are too much attached, first slowly forget about the result. Only attach it to the work. So there is no single formula. It is similar to the students, the example what I used to give, like always a student who is passing with only 35% marks, I can't give a target of 90% or 95% to achieve. So we should first tell him, at least 50% and techora babu. So like that Krishna was trying to say. So sakama karma yogi people are both attached to both work and result. And great thing is the sakama karma yogi, they do work as per the Vedic scriptures. They are not working in ignorance. Despite doing work as per the Vedic injunctions, they still get attached. That is sakama karma yoga people. Now nishkama karma yoga people are attached to work but not the fruits. That's what Krishna was mentioning. Nishkama karma yoga people are attached to the work but not the result. Have you noticed, even in our corporate life also, we might be seeing across so many people like that. They give they will give the best presentation, and they will take utmost care in preparing the presentation properly and all, and they deliver, and they leave off actually. They leave off from the office. So we can do the same. So that's what Krishna was mentioning, that Nishkam Karma Yoga attached to both work but not for the fruits. And Bhakti Yoga is something, the people who are there in Bhakti Yoga, they are detached from both of them. Sanjay Prabhu and Sunil Prabhu are there. Despite in a group of, in our WhatsApp group, what do you know the strength of our WhatsApp group? 200. Our strength of WhatsApp group is 200. But hardly we are getting 19 to 20 people. But Sanjay Prabhu morning came and did the setup and all. I mean, 200 people are there. No one is coming. I will not do work. What is this? I will not. He is not going against it, right? And neither he is doing for the pleasure of the Lord. Okay, so that's the point he was trying to say. Nishkam Karma Yoga attached to work but not fruit, but Bhakti Yoga is something either you are attached to the fruits or not to the result. Once upon a time, in my when I was working in TCS PwC account, one trainer has come from Bengaluru, and generally in corporate worlds, there are default trainings which each and every associate has to attend, but we are not interested. Just for the namesake, we need to attend. So people have taken lightly, and only registered were almost 35 to 40 associates are supposed to attend the training, and the trainer was a pretty senior trainer, and the trainer, he was saying hardly 5 people have come to the training, and he said, only 5 are there. What do you think? I am a normal guy. I will not do a training. You escalate to your manager and all. He sat and did. There's nothing wrong about it. Okay. But the thing is, we need to understand that Bhakti Yoga, whether any devotee in Bhakti Yoga, he neither gets attached to result or work. That is Bhakti Yoga. That's what Krishna mentioned in the 5th chapter, first lesson, that is stay in the world. And the second one is 3 doers. Who are the 3 doers? Who are the 3 doers? We have heard last time. Guess. Who are the 3 doers? Galat bhi hoga to no problem. Who are the 3 doers? In the step T means 3 doers. Who are the 3 doers? It's not a tough one. Guess. Jiva, us. Jiva, us. Second one is? Second one is? Guess. తప్పైనా పర్లేదమ్మా, చెప్పండి, ఏం కదా. ఫస్ట్ వచ్చేసి జీవ, గాడ్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ పరమాత్మ. జీవ, పరమాత్మ. జీవాత్మ ఈజ్ అస్, పరమాత్మ ఈజ్ the Lord who is sitting in each and every living entity, that is as second. And third one, Prakriti, right? Third one is Prakriti. So these 3 are the 3 doers of any. We as a jiva, we only can desire. But whatever you desire, you will get it. No, right? Yeah, so that's what the point Krishna was stressing, Jiva, Paramatma and material nature are, nature fulfills actually. Nature basically fulfills, and it is something like, when a desire is fulfilled of a Jivatma. For example, Anuj Prabhu wanted a BMW car. I don't know what car he has now, right now. What car, Prabhu? Maruti Suzuki, very good. Gold is gold. So he desired for a BMW car. Will he get it? In future. Right now his desire is there for getting a BMW. But along the lane in another 5 to 10 years, will he get a BMW? May get. But there are parameters. For example, only desiring is in our hand. But Paramatma sanctioning depends on his karma balance. If he is having good karma balance, Lord sanctions and Prakriti fulfills. It is something like, father, mother and a kid. Kid asks mother that I wanted to purchase a balloon. But mother don't have money to purchase, right? So in turn mother has to ask the father that बेचारा बच्चा गुब्बारा मांग रहा है, एक देते हैं. So then if father is okay to give it, then he gives it to, okay, dila do karke he gives 10 rupees, then mother purchases a balloon for the kid. So that's how it happens, the cycle. So these are the three doers: Jiva, Paramatma and Prakriti. Third one is E for equal vision. So equal vision is, see each entity equal. So like, when we are in this body, each and every living entity, it's not only other neighborhood human being himself, any dog, ant, also each and every living entity, we see it equally. So that is called having a equal vision. Do you think a sadhu who is walking by, if an ant is appeared, will he step on the ant? No, he will not at all. He will not step at all, because he also sees that in that particular ant there is a soul, and that soul probably is in a small body, and we are also soul in a big body. It is something like, big truck hitting a cycle. Truck is big, cycle is driven by a man, truck is driven by a man, but the vehicle size is big, cycle size is small. So it doesn't give a right that my body size is big, so I will hit it. There will be equal repercussions if we do that. So that's what he was mentioning, equal vision. So by having a equal vision, we will always don't have a controllership mentality or ownership mentality. If you introspect yourself, if we have this equal vision, we will not be having control. Where వాళ్ళని control చేద్దాం, వేరే వాళ్ళని we will try to enjoy them, we will try to dominate them. That thinking slowly subsides when you are spiritually inclined. So that's what he is talking about, equal vision. So by seeing, because when you see another equal entity, as I said, ant is going, you don't step on the ant. So we think that he is also a soul, but in a smaller body. But in the same soul, apart from the soul, there is a super soul also. In my soul, there is also super soul. So if I do that, even super soul is also watching, right? So he will be taking the necessary steps. So that's what he is talking about, equation. Yes, Mataji.
I always have this dilemma on this, on this particular aspect. That is when it comes to mosquito.
Mosquito, yeah.
Mosquito or any pests to
Yes,
the
yes,
plants.
yes.
Because there, I'm sure
Yeah.
bound to be, I get
Yeah.
sadistic pleasure also in
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So how do we address that part?
Mataji, see, if insect is harming you, for example, mosquito is coming and it is biting you. It should not be a conscious thing to kill it for our pleasure. There are two things. Okay, you are doing an accident. Leave out. I will come to your point. Now a person is hitting a person. Then he is going by a road and he is having an intention of killing that person. He is having an intention of killing a person, and by mistake killing a person. He is crossing a road and he suddenly jumped in and he hit him. He got killed. That is one aspect. And with the intention of killing that person, you are hitting. There are two things here. These are two perspectives. And here, when you are killing a person intentionally, there is a different karma reaction. And when you are killing a person by mistake, it is there is a different reaction. It's not the same. ఫలితం అయితే అదే కానీ ఫలితమే తేడా ఉంది మాది, తేడా ఉంది అంటే అదే కర్మ ఏంటంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మీరు తెలియకుండా చేశారనుకోండి, బై మిస్టేక్ ఇఫ్ యూ హవ్ డన్ ఇట్ మీన్స్ ఇట్ ఇస్ వెరీ డిఫికల్ట్ పిల్ టు స్వాలో. బై మిస్టేక్ ఆర్ తెలియకుండా చేశారనుకోండి, దట్ మీన్స్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ సోల్ ఈజ్ సపోజ్ టు లీవ్ ద బాడీ ఎట్ దట్ టైమ్. ఇట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ రిటర్న్.
When it comes to mosquitoes, deliberately kill.
Better.
It's not that when it comes and sits on my hand and leg. So that we generally do that, but it's more like a defense.
See, but what we would say, Mataji, what we would suggest is even our senior acharyas say that coming to these mosquitoes, you take the necessary precautions so that they are not coming.
In spite of that, if it comes, so then it is a little bit like a war only.
If it comes and bites you, that's fine. But going there and killing.
No, this is practice.
For example,
I do, so I always
yeah.
how do I?
But yeah, my senior acharya say, Mataji, when you are killing a mosquito, no, especially kids, the reaction is instant. When I say instant, it's not immediately 1 minute or 2 minutes. Within 1 week or 10 days time, you will be getting a small injuries on the legs. Kids especially, they kill intentionally or unintentionally, they will get injuries, small injuries only. That's the reaction of killing them. చంపటం వేరు, అది చంపటం వేరు. ఇబ్బంది కలిగినప్పుడు చంపటం వేరు. కానీ కావాల్సి వెళ్ళి అక్కడ ఉంది కదా సపక్, that is not. And for that you will be getting a reaction. Actually our senior acharyas say that in one class Radhesham Prabhuji mentioned, when we kill, when we play and kill like this, no, there are small injuries we will get. Even my leg also recently, yeah, here it is. Deepavali, this gift for me. I did some adventure, so I got this injury. So that's also one kind of a reaction. It's not that I did something, some harm, something I did. So that's the harm I got. Similarly, you'll be getting minor injuries, but we should at the most we should avoid killing it voluntarily. If you want, you can take necessary precautions so that they are not coming. Or cockroaches are there, take the necessary precautions that cockroaches are not coming. There are a lot of things available in the market, but don't do it for the purpose of killing it. That's what it is suggested. Yeah. Okay, so this is about the third step, equal vision. And fourth one is peace formula. So peace formula, all scriptures as are performed. We need to understand that the peace formula is all scriptures, whatever are written or whatever the scriptural injections are there, it is only for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. Whatever the yajnas we do, whatever the work we do, it should be designed for only pleasure of the Lord. Only pleasure of the Lord. And He is the supreme owner and He is the supreme well-wisher of everyone. Make a note. Make a note of this point. He is a supreme well-wisher of everyone. This is a very important point to underline. When I say He is a supreme well-wisher, generally humans currently we tend to think that if He is a supreme well-wisher, why these many customs to me? Why these many problems to me? But you are only thinking about your current life. But Krishna is looking after your entire journey, future lives also. Krishna is looking after you, how your future lives also would be. So He wanted to reduce the number of future lives for you, or if possible, go back home, back to Godhead in this life only. And this particular pain, whatever we are going right now, might be a blessing in disguise for you. But mostly they will not take it in the right spirit. That's why this knowledge, for common people, it will not suit well. So we need to understand whatever the difficulties we are facing, it is for He is a supreme well-wisher. Either it is in the form of your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law, your father, whatever the difficulties you are facing, your kids, that's also your purification. Krishna has sent them for your purification only. How you handle them. I went to Vrindavan right last week. We were there in a room. We were there in a time check?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock, okay. We have not yet started 6th chapter. Okay. Purification, I was there in the room with two other Prabhujis. That one Prabhuji was snoring like anything. Snoring, it was like tractor sound. Tractor sound he was snoring. And 4 nights we were there in the room. So 2 nights, first 2 nights he snored. We came to know, and we both of them went down in the reception and slept there. At least he is sleeping perfectly fine. Third day, he was about to sleep, and we are also about to go, and my mobile phone, WhatsApp, one message came and the sound came, tongue sound came. Then while in his sleep, he told me, Prabhuji, can you put it in silent mode? It is disturbing to me. It is disturbing to me. Then fourth day, he asked us, I am observing when I wake up, you guys are not there. What is the problem? Are you leaving early to the temple, Mangalarti and all, like that he asked. So I told him, Prabhuji, I think you are snoring very high, so we could not bear, so we went down and slept. Then he felt, Prabhuji, I don't know what to react, I am feeling embarrassing, I don't know how to react and all. So, no, Prabhuji, nothing to worry. My other Prabhuji told, no, Prabhuji, don't worry. Who knows, after 10 years we might snore more than you. So, at least you are sleeping perfectly fine. He told, otherwise I could have gone down. No, Prabhuji, if you go down, there are 5 other people, they will be getting disturbed. So, rather than 5 people getting disturbed, 2 people getting disturbed is better, right? So, that's the first time travel to him. Now, I was thinking about that person. The devotee who responded like this, like to, no problem Prabhu, we went down and that's okay, at least you are sleeping down. What kind of impression he could have got on the devotees? Are devotees ante ila untara? Right? That's it. Again, but had we not been in ISKCON society, we would have first had a fight. Hey, kasa gorkalapaya. Yeni gorkalinte maamulu gorkalinte nu machine konukoleva idu konukoleva ani koncham chinna small size fight would have happened. Yes or no? Because I have seen in trains, if someone is snoring heavily, they have a fight with them. What poor fellow, what he will do? So the purification aspect is important, and so Krishna, we need to take all these instances in such a way that Krishna is a supreme well-wisher for us. Krishna has sent that devotee who is snoring for purify us, that we are not reacting back. So Krishna gives ample experiences like that, and he sees how we are reacting. Okay. So now, without any delay, I will go to the next chapter, that is Dhyaana Yoga. Again, as you know, each and every chapter will be dividing into acronym, 4 lessons. Again, this acronym is easy. So 6th chapter is known as easy. In that easy, E is nothing but enemy or friend. I think you might have already got. What is he talking about? Enemy or friend means? Any guesses? దేని గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నారు అంటారు? శత్రువా మిత్రుడా? ఏంటి శత్రువా మిత్రుడా అనేది? Can anyone guess? You might have heard, a lot of philosophers or a lot of people, knowledgeable people might have quoted, mind is, you can mold your mind, it can become your friend also, you can enemy also, right? A lot of people might have quoted. The root of that particular statement is there in Bhagavadgita. Okay, so here, so he's talking about the mind, and it is, first of all, we need to understand the tripod. Already last chapter we understood the tripod of Jiva, Paramatma and Prakriti. And when Prakriti, gradually detachment happens, done by me, I am only, once we understand that, whatever we do, once we understand this tripod, a clarity would be there for everyone that whatever I am doing, completely it might not be successful. Only one part I am doing it. నా చేతుల్లో ఉన్నదల్లా బెస్ట్ ఇవ్వడం మాత్రమే, ఫలితం నా చేతిలో లేదు అనే అండర్స్టాండింగ్ మనలో వస్తుంది. Yes or no? Once we understand this triangular, I don't know, I can't call it as a triangular love story. You can say tripod, where once we understand these 3 parameters of Jiva, Paramatma and Prakriti, we will for sure understand that whatever we do, it is not something we do. The result is not in our hand. I have personally seen lot of knowledgeable people and PhD holders. Close quarters I have seen some PhD people that they went to depression. పిహెచ్డి నేను ఆ ప్లాన్ చేసా, ఈ ప్లాన్ చేసా, అది ప్లాన్ అయిపోయింది, దిస్ ప్లాన్ ఇస్ డన్, సో పర్ఫెక్ట్లీ ఇన్ ప్లేస్, ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఇస్ సక్సెస్ఫుల్లీ విల్ బి డన్. అండ్ వన్స్ ఇట్ ఫెయిల్స్ దే వెంట్ టు డిప్రెషన్ ఆల్సో. I know Prabhuji and Mataji, I know some people, close people, who went to depression despite doing PhD. So we need to introspect on that aspect of three things: Jiva, Paramatma and Prakriti. What are the roles? And it is 100% we need to understand that everything is not done by me. Everything is not done by us. So it's only even the only thing what a jiva can do is only to desire. Okay, so by understanding that Lord is in the complete control and I'm just a tiny jiva, we will be starting our detachment journey. ఒక్కసారి ఆ బీజం కింద పడింది అనుకోండి, ఏంటి మొత్తం దేవుడే ఉన్నాడు, మన పాత్ర చాలా తక్కువ ఉంది అనే బీజం పడింది అనుకోండి, మనం చాలా డిటాచ్డ్గా ఉంటాం. We will be very detached when we have that thinking. That's what Krishna is trying to mention. Detachment comes to one who realizes that he is not autonomous in his actions. He understands that without Lord's sanction, he cannot do anything. Cannot do anything. Rake Krishna mare koi. Next. What is the meaning? Anyone? Rake Krishna mare Krishna rake koi. What is the meaning? I know it's a Hindi one. చెప్పండి, తెలిసి చెప్పండి. Krishna, if Krishna wants to kill anyone, nobody can save. If Krishna wanted to save anyone, nobody can kill. That was the insurance policy what our Vedic civilization used to follow. Now this LIC, ICICI, Lombard and all have come. they have made a business, but that was the insurance policy what they, if Krishna really wants to kill me, who can save me? If Krishna really wants to save me, nobody can. Whatever effort you make, we have seen ample examples in past. Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj is an ideal example. So that's what we are talking about, and that's what he was, this is the tripod he was talking about. Super soul verifies and sanctions based on does this jiva deserve to get this desire fulfilled or not. So that's about karma balance he has or not. So after receiving super soul's order, material nature through three modes, sattva, raja, tamam guna, fulfills jiva's desires. Okay, so the way our vision becomes purified, and if this particular vision, once it is clear, if someone asks, what do you want to do, if someone asks and say, Krishna, can you do this? Someone asks saying that, can you do this? Then you will say, the person who is having that vision will say, I will try my best, let Krishna do the rest. That's what we can say. There is a possibility we can fail. I think Krishna knows the best. The same, my kid example, who went to, I think it might be the kickboxing might have been started. So that's what I told. Unnecessary, if you went, we will go with that expectation. I defeated everyone in the community. All the kids are defeated. I will win silver and gold. If he gets defeated in the main tournament, morale will be destroyed drastically. He will cry today. It happens. Okay. So that's how it goes. So Krishna. So further advancement, if we need to make, we can do by, if any, after Krishna stressing on the need of performing Nishkama Karma Yoga, if there is any further advancement you need to make on the path of spiritual progress, you can meditate on the form of Vishnu. That is what we are going to talk about, Ashtanga Yoga. Meditate on the form of Vishnu. Meditate on the form of Vishnu, and it will be, super soul. But most of there are so many yoga institutes across the world, right? All of them teach yoga, but nobody mentions about the real purpose of yoga. They actually, most of the people who go to the yoga classes, if you ask them, if you do a survey, those who are coming out, and ask them that why are you going to yoga, he or she will say, to increase my longevity, or to look beautiful, to look healthy and all. But that is not right. Fitness, I should be fit. That is the reasons they say. But actually that is not the reason. That is one of the reason it can be. But the main reason is something else. Okay, so we need to understand that. So Ashtanga Yoga. So in Karma Kanda generally the material desires are there to enjoy, and people might be saying, Prabhuji, in this the material world is there. It is there to enjoy only. What is wrong in enjoying? There is no problem in enjoying. People might be saying, there are a lot of people. మనకు ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ కోసమే ఇన్నున్నప్పుడు అది ఎంజాయ్ చేయకుండా ఉండడానికి ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి? ఉన్నది ఒకటే చింతకి ఎంజాయ్ చేయడం కోసం ఏంటిది? బట్ ఇఫ్ యూ డూ ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ విత్ కృష్ణ, వితౌట్ కృష్ణ, యూ విల్ షూర్లీ సఫర్. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ఎవరైనా నో అంటారా? నో అనండి. సమ్మన్ సే నో. I think there is no need to. I think all are elevated devotees saying no one is saying no. But we need to understand that when we try to enjoy more without Krishna, there is always at the end of the road there is a suffering. Surely there is a suffering. But when we are in the sangha of devotees, when we are in a sangha of devotees, even that snoring people, there are in our satsang we are having 3 devotees. My Shiksha Guru, Leelanand Prabhu, Subara Prabhu and Satya Prabhu. These 3 are big snorers. And when these 3 are there in a room, they will snore and they will sleep also. That's also enjoyment. There is no disturbance. Nobody will say, hey, why are you snoring like that and all. It's like a funny moment for us. So when you are with devotees and all, whatever difficulty also, it is enjoyable. So that's what we need to understand. So in Karma Kanda, that's what, when we enjoy without Krishna, always suffering is there at the end of the road. So when we try to play a role of a god, there is examples immemorial in our history where people have tried to become a god and they got destroyed. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, those are our in other yugas. Here in the current world also, Hitler, Alexander, all they indirectly tried to become a god. They tried to become a god. What happened? One committed suicide, and at the end Alexander lifted his hand. What is the saying? I came, whatever you earn without this thing, nothing, I am not taking anything, show this hand, some story is there. That's what has happened. So when you try to enjoy without God, always sorrow remains. That's what we need to understand. Okay, so that's the point what he was stressing about doing the Karma Kanda. But if you are following the path of Bhagavadgita, even if you want a material pleasures, through Krishna, even if you want a material pleasures, Krishna gives options to you. How merciful he is. Even material pleasures also, go through me. He is not asking you to go to jungles and do yoga. Be in Grihasthashram, do Nishkama Karma yoga, and enjoy material pleasures also, but you surrender to me slowly. That's what he is saying. Okay? So if you are, so that's why after suffering, after material suffering, after doing the Karma Kanda, after the soul suffers, then you go to the Sakama Karma yoga, where you go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but not only to do, not to Devatas. When you do a Sakama Karma yoga, you go for a material pleasure to the Supreme God, not to the Devatas. Because Devatas give benedictions without purifying you. That is the problem. You have seen ample examples in our history where Shiva has given benedictions, and he was to whom he has benedicted, he went back to Shiva and tried to kill Shiva. What is it? Bhasmasura. So like that, other devatas might be able to give benedictions, but they give benedictions without purification. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, all are examples. So Krishna is the only one who gives benedictions only after purification. There is no instances in the time immemorial where Krishna has given a benediction to one devotee and it has backfired. So that's what Krishna is saying. Do Sakama Karma yoga, or where you go to only Him, Supreme Personality of Godhead, but not to other devatas, and slowly after Sakama Karma yoga, you try to do Nishkama Karma yoga. Nishkama Karma Yoga and try to, offer the fruits to God. Offer the fruits to me, he's saying. That is in Nishkama Karma Yoga. And slowly the purification of the soul happens and soul and knowledge awakens. Soul and knowledge, the knowledge of soul and God awakens in the Jiva. So that's what Krishna is suggesting. So, there is a, one, what we say, it is something like a lift, When we go to Bhakti Yoga, that's why it is being mentioned. It is Ashtanga Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. It is something like a lift we take. In my home avatar, there are around 30 to 31 floors. In the 30 to 31 floors, there is a possibility of taking a lift and also going by steps. What will you prefer? What will you prefer? Obviously, lift. Can anyone say steps? No, right? But the thing is, Krishna is trying to stress the same thing, that whatever we do, these yogasanas, Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and all are very activities with lot of strain. Ashtanga Yoga, lot of strain. Anyway, that we will come to the end on how we see that yoga, all this Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and with a lot of effort is needed for that. Why I have quoted this example, I will tell you in the coming minutes. Now, this Ashtanga Yoga is the process, as I mentioned. Once you do the Nishkama Karma Yoga and once you are balanced in Nishkama Karma Yoga, then you need to take a path of, there is a next step what you can take is, take Ashtanga Yoga where you are able to meditate on the form of Vishnu. Meditate on the form of Vishnu. Vishnu అనగానే మీకు ఏం గుర్తొస్తుంది? Image, what is the image you get? What is the image you get when you say Vishnu? Chaturbhuja. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Blue color skin. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, actually that's a form. Whatever you are seeing here, right? That's a form. So we need to understand that the path of karma purifies the heart and the path of jnana awakens the knowledge within us. We need to understand that. Path of karma purifies the heart and path of jnana purifies awakens the knowledge of soul and God within us. And this detachment and path of Ashtanga Yoga shows clearly through, Vishnu in your heart. As I said, path of Karma Yoga purifies your heart and path of Jnana Yoga awakens the knowledge of soul and God, and path of Ashtanga Yoga you will be able to see clearly Vishnu in you. It is very difficult to contemplate, or it is very difficult to manaku practical ga anpinchakapochu. The problem is in our heart currently addanki masipettinattuga undi mana heart. Andukani we are not able to see it. But when you see the Ashtanga yogis, they see Vishnu clearly, crystal clear. When a lake is there, మీరు I think తెలుగులో ఏమంటారు లేక్ అంటే చెరువా సరస్సులో నీళ్లు స్తబ్దంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు మన లోపల ఉన్న చేపలు రాళ్ళు కూడా చూడగలం కదా. we would be in a situation to see the pebbles and little fishes in the lake when the lake is very clear, right? It is something like that, the art of meditating. So that's what Ashtanga Yoga talks about. Ashtanga Yoga, you will be able to, with lot of focus, you will be able to see Vishnu within yourself. And Krishna recommends only once you are stabilized in Nishkama Karma Yoga. Okay, so in Bhakti Yoga, you will be able to know. You will be able to know that Krishna is the only origin. But in Ashtanga Yoga, people generally meditate on the form of Vishnu. But once you come to Bhakti Yoga, you will understand that Vishnu also is the expansion of Krishna. Vishnu also is the expansion of Krishna. Okay. So, what is the advantage of focusing Lord or in our heart? What is the advantage of focusing on the Lord in our heart? Narad Muni here. Yeah, so there are a lot of examples, one who purified Nishkama Karma Yoga always, Krishna also quotes the examples of Janaka Maharaj in Bhagavadgita, that he is the perfect Nishkama Karma Yogi, and further advancement by practice of meditation on super soul by Ashtanga method. By meditating on the super soul, one can develop devotion to him in Bhakti Yoga, understanding that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, ultimate controller, and best friend. So that's what he is talking about. After you get stabilized in Nishkama Karma Yoga, then you can go to Ashtanga Yoga. But one who desires to practice Ashtanga Yoga should not suddenly give up prescribed duties, Karma Yoga. Here is a check. People avoid the responsibilities and go back to forest or isolate place to gain hold in spiritual life. That is wrong. You can meditate on the form of Vishnu, but not ignoring your responsibilities as a father, as a mother, as a husband, as a wife. Very, very subtle statement. So that's what he is talking about. So a real sannyasi and yoga. So we need to understand, this solo, as long as, in fact, Narad Muni also provides the same input to Dhruva. He guides Dhruva when he goes to forest on how to meditate on the form of Vishnu. So Dhruva, in a stiff posture, he, with the support of Ashtanga Yoga, he meditates on the form of Vishnu and he impresses Vishnu. Ashtanga Yoga. So that's what is being said about. And you should always meditate on the smile of Vishnu. Smile of Vishnu, which is so enchanting, it's so enchanting. And sometimes the kundalas of Vishnu, where once it rings, the reflection of it falls on the cheek. So there are different aspects, and two eyes of Vishnu are like little fishes. So there are different aspects. Eyes you can meditate, the helmet you can meditate, the four Chatur Bhuja you can meditate, you can Srivatsa Chinha you can meditate. I mean, there are a lot of aspects in the Lord Vishnu form where you can meditate on. And once you closely see Vishnu, have you seen one Vishnu form wherein he will be there underwater? Really, I get goosebumps when I see that photo. I think you might have seen that photo where Vishnu is in the water and he sees like this. Have you seen? You remember that photo? Anyone? Prabhupada, one Vishnu picture would be there where he stands under the water, and he sees like this. No? Don't remember? I will send you the photo. When I see that photo, really, बहुत डर लगता है मुझे. It looks like he's seeing me. अरे यदवा ఇంత ఇంకా ఎన్ని పాపాలు తీసుకొని ఉంటావరా, తొందర రారా, ఏంద్రా అని తిరుతున్నట్టు ఉంటుంది ఆ ఫోటో చూస్తుంటే. ఐ విల్ సెండ్ యూ దట్ ఫోటో. ఇట్ ఇస్ ఇన్ ఈశోపనిషద్, దట్ ఫోటో వుడ్ బి దేర్. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ ఐ కెన్ షో ఇట్ రైట్ అవే. 1 minute. Lord Vishnu underwater. I really, Lord Vishnu. Water. I don't know whether that photo will come or not, but not this. I think I should quote Ishopanishad, I think, one minute. Ishopanishad is the right word. Ishopanishad. This is right. Remember this photo? Are you not able to see it? Yeah, probably I'll post it in the group also. Are you able to see it? He literally sees like this. What was it? Yeah, sure. Share. Yeah. Send. Okay. Yeah, this is the photo. Okay. So here, I mean, this is a form of Vishnu, wherein people generally, the yogis who are there in Himalayas and all, they try to meditate on the form of Vishnu, only Vishnu. Krishna is not in the picture here. They meditate on the form of Vishnu, and yogi, when they see the smile of the that smile of the Lord, when they see it, all the pain is gone for them. I know it is very difficult to imagine that since we are not in that stage. But the experienced yogis do say that. In fact, I had a fortune of meeting one yogi who came from Himalayas. When, so they have different experiences. So like this yogi's heart is purified, and then it is like a lake when it is where pebbles appear. And Nishkama Karma yogi can promote himself to Ashtanga yogi. And as I mentioned, they should not suddenly not stop your prescribed duties and hurry to see the Lord and attain spiritual world. Then you may want to suddenly give up, because when you try to do that, there is a possibility to, in a hurry to see the Lord, there is a possibility you might ignore your prescribed duties as a father, mother, husband, wife. So we should not hurry. You can do it parallelly, but without ignoring, you can do Ashtanga or meditate on the Lord. You can do that, but by not ignoring your prescribed duties. That's what has been mentioned. Okay, so then Krishna glorifies Nishkama Karma Yoga again in this chapter in two shlokas. These are the two shlokas where he tries to glorify the Nishkama Karma Yoga, where Bhagavan Uvacha he says, Anashrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karotiya Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragni Cha Chakriyaha. Okay, so in that here he says that Grihastha can be sannyasi and yogi also. Grihastha can be sannyasi and yogi also. When I say sannyasi and yogi, sannyasi is something, while although he is a karma yogi, he gives the results to God. So in that way he is a sannyasi. He gives the results to the God. He is not attached to the result of God. Okay, in that way he is sannyasi. He might have wore a dress of grihastha, but in his heart he is detached for the fruits. And so many in Krishna conscious society there are so many Prabhujis and Matajis who are like that. They are sannyasi. They have their family, they see the business, they do devotional service, they do all the business, but end of the day they give the results to Krishna. I have personally seen lot of families like that, believe me. Our own Leelam Prabhu, my Shiksha Guru is there in my home Krishi. He goes to office in IT company. He has a Goshala, he manages Goshala, and today morning a new batch has been started in my home Krishi, some SSR session I think. So he is parallelly doing the service also, and every day they do Mangalarti and all. They are able to balance. There are a lot of families like, it's not only him, there are a lot of families like that. So we need to understand that being in a grihastha dress also, we can become a sannyasi. So they derive pleasure in rendering the service, in bringing people to the Krishna consciousness. For Sanjay Prabhu, Sunil Prabhu, they are all there. Why there is for them to come early morning and do the necessary arrangement and do it? Because they wanted, whoever are coming, they wanted to serve everyone properly, such that there is no inconvenience is there for anyone who is coming. Okay, so we need to understand that that's the reason why sannyasi, without any expectation, they are doing so. In a form of grihastha itself, they are sannyasi too. So that's what with that reference he is talking about being a sannyasi. And quality of consciousness is like a sannyasi only, but living like a grihastha. So the consciousness is like a sannyasi only. That's what we need to understand. What are the problems are there? My Shiksha Guru is there. His father is on the almost bed. For almost 1 year he is on bed. One hole here, food goes through from nose. He is also having difficulties. No? We need to understand that. And second point is, why we are saying Grihastha is a yogi also. We are saying Grihastha is a yogi because his mind doesn't dwell in sense gratification. We are saying Grihastha as a yogi also because his mind doesn't dwell on sense gratification. Are kotta movie vachindi eldam. Are Chandana Brothers lo Bammana cheer vachindi eldam. Okay, so that particular sense gratification mode is not there in the people. That's the Grihastha people. That's the reason why they are called yogi also. That's the reason why Krishna quotes that Grihastha can become a real sannyasi and yogi also. So yoga and sannyasi are Same. So detached action is same as renunciation. So people think that only sannyasi can the person is the person. General notion in our society is a sannyasi is a person who leaves everything and goes to Himalayas. No, the consciousness is more important. Despite being in a grihastha ashrama, if you are still in that consciousness, then nothing wrong. That's what he is pointing out. So anyone can do that. Introduce people to Krishna consciousness, and cook prasadam, distribute prasadam, build temples. So it's not a tough task to be in Krishna consciousness, but always our senses needs to be engaged in Krishna consciousness activity. Yesterday whole day we were busy in donating the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Grahastha families who came forward, they have distributed donated Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, Sanjay Prabhu's Srimad Bhagavatam we have given in Saptagiri Venkateswara Swami temple in Attapur, Hyderabad. So we myself, Lakshmi Mataji and Himanshu Prabhu, we three of us went in a car and went to temple and donated, not donated by us, donated by Sanjay Prabhu. We have given it handed over to that temple. We have taken a photo and snaps also. So the thing is, we should always be busy in engaging our senses in Krishna consciousness activity. Do you feel there is a dearth of Krishna consciousness activities? What do you say? కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్నెస్ యాక్టివిటీ చేయడానికి చాలా తక్కువ పనులు ఉన్నాయి అనుకుంటున్నారా? డూ యూ థింక్ దెర్ ఇస్ డెప్త్ ఆఫ్ కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్నెస్ యాక్టివిటీ? ఓ ఆఫ్ దిస్ యాక్టివిటీ ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ మచ్ యాక్టివిటీ టు డూ లైక్ దట్. డూ యూ ఫీల్ there are these many infinite? If you are really coming forward, there are lot of Krishna consciousness. We can be engaged in Krishna consciousness activities like anything. All your senses we can engage. Okay, so that's what he is talking about. So Ashtanga yoga is one step prior to Bhakti yoga. One step prior to Bhakti yoga means before Bhakti yoga and Nishkama Karma yoga, middle Ashtanga yoga comes, where we will be doing meditating on the form of Vishnu through this Ashtanga yoga. That's what he is stressing on. So one can't exactly know God is Vishnu. Some of them know God is Brahman also. So there will be people who meditate on Vishnu, and there are some Ashtanga yogis who believe that Brahman itself is a God. There is no God, but only Brahman is a God. Effulgence is God. There are some sect of people who believe that Brahman is the only ultimate God, but that is wrong. So in Bhakti Yoga, Vishnu is all the same. Vishnu is the expansion of Krishna. That's what we come to know. So how long one should practice Nishkama Karma Yoga? Any idea? How long one should perform Nishkama Karma Yoga? Lifelong, throughout his life? Huh? Yes? Pakka? Lock kar de?
No, after Nishkama Karma Yoga, you will go to Bhakti Yoga. That is the middle one.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, so see, you are right. One way you are right. All the life we need to do Nishkama Yoga, but at least at some point of the life, after you are stabilized in Nishkama Karma Yoga, you have to take up meditation or engage in Bhakti Yoga, full-fledged Bhakti Yoga. Some families would be there who will be thinking that, okay, నా పిల్ల పాపలు వాడికి పెళ్ళి అయిపోతే వీడికి ఉద్యోగం వచ్చేస్తే చాలు, నేను ఫుల్గా భక్తిలో దిగుతా అని అంటారు. But the thing is, we need to plan generally they say till 50 years, whatever you doing, that's fine. After 50 years, you have to be serious about your spiritual life. General notion in Kali Yuga, 50 years వరకు మీ పిల్ల పాపలు పెళ్ళి అన్నీ చూసుకుంటారు చాలు. 50 years తర్వాత it's better to be relatively serious in Krishna consciousness activities. That's what generally people say. So how long we need to do while living in this world? Hare Krishna. Chalo line to see. Do you know silkworm? Silkworm, dekha? Which color it is? White, huh? Okay. Generally it is red color, right? No? Okay. So silkworm, generally, it releases saliva. And that saliva later is a silk. That saliva it ejects saliva, and that saliva itself it gets trapped and dies. So we should not be like that. So that's the example acharyas have given. Similarly, we should not get affected with job, family, and all these things. So we will be get entangled like a silkworm. ఒక స్టేజ్ వరకు ఓకే, బట్ వన్ స్టేజ్ వీ షుడ్ గెట్ ఇన్ టు ఏ స్టేజ్ వేర్ వీఆర్ కమింగ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్. నువ్వు సంపాదించి, నీ పిల్లల్ని సంపాదించి, నీ మనవాళ్ళు మనవరాలు సంపాదించి, ఎవరు దే ఆర్ నాట్ మీకు ఖచ్చితంగా బలమైన సాయం ఉంటారని గ్యారంటీ లేదు. సో at one point of time we should not get entangled like a silkworm where saliva, whatever, it is their byproduct, right? In its own byproduct it entangles and dies. So similarly we should not get entangled with job, relatives, this thing, that thing and all, and go away from spiritual life. That's what Krishna stresses here. And we need to do service to the Lord, and same time cultivate knowledge of the thought and the body also. That's what Krishna stresses a bit here. So although working as a karma yogi, he renounces results of his action as a sannyasi, and his mind does not dwell on any what is this, alignment of dwell on enjoyment of senses. That is yogi. So yogi and sannyasi, I mentioned sannyasi, why it is not. So that's how we need to go forward. And before, as I mentioned, before practicing advanced stages of Ashtanga Yoga, one must purify by the practice. One must be purified by the practice of Nishkama Karma Yoga. So before even practicing the Ashtanga Yoga, one must be purified by the practice of Nishkama Karma Yoga. Therefore, Lord Krishna glorifies Nishkama Karma Yoga in first two verses. The same thing. Okay? In the first two verses, Krishna told that an Ashtanga yogi should not give up Nishkama Karma Yoga, and that sannyasa and yoga are same. So should the Ashtanga yoga practice Nishkama Karma Yoga for his whole life? Krishna explains now. So that's what he stresses here. Okay. Okay, yeah, here it is. So he stresses the point of introduces the asanas, how to do the Ashtanga Yoga, Aruksha to Arudha stage. So asanas are there to basically to control the senses, and pranayama is there to control the mind. That we need to understand. So two levels of Ashtanga Yoga are there. So when we say Ashtanga Yoga, what are Ashtanga Yoga means 8, right? 8. Remember what are the 8?
Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyaana, Samadhi.
Baba. Hari bol to Mataji, everyone. Hari bol. Sala, super asla. Without any gap. Chipper, very nice, very nice. So those are the Ashtanga Yoga. So my friend chipper. Okay, so Ashtanga Yoga. So these are the basically, as Mataji rightly mentioned, so there are two levels of Ashtanga Yoga. One is Yoga Ruruksha. Yoga Ruruksha means the beginning stage of Ashtanga Yoga. And in this beginning stage of Ashtanga Yoga, Mataji mentioned 8. In that 8, the first 4 are done by Yoga Rurukshas. First 4 chapter Mataji.
Yama, Niyama, Asana,
Pranayama.
Pranayama.
Yes. Yama, Niyama, Asana and Pranayama. These 4 are the category which are done by the beginners in Ashtanga Yoga. And those beginners are called Yoga Ruruksha. Yoga Ruruksha. So while performing Nishkama Karma Yoga, one should cultivate detachment and also practice Ashtanga Yoga. Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Asanas, etc. That gradually purifies the heart of fruitive desires. Manaku whatever for our senses, whatever it lies, to control the senses, we gradually and purify the heart. We do this 4 asanas or 4 Ashtanga Yogas, the first 4 parts. We need to understand. That's why we do it. Yama, Niyama. లేదు కదా వస్తుంది. యమ ఏంటి అంటే ఏంటి, నియమ అంటే ఏంటి, ఆసన అంటే ఏంటి, ప్రాణాయామం అంటే ఏంటి, అన్నీ వస్తున్నాయి, రానున్న స్లైడ్స్లో వస్తున్నాయి. But we need to understand that these are these aspects are there wherein to control the mind or to control the senses, there are different things are there. So these are the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga where yeah.
Are we still in E of enemy or?
No. Are we still? Yes, we are still in A of enemy only. So enemy and friend only we are there. In that enemy, why enemy and friend is for what? Mind. Mind you can take it as enemy or friend also. That you can do. But how you can do through Ashtanga Yoga? How you can do that? Now we are explaining Ashtanga Yoga. What Ashtanga Yoga comprises of and what it does. So in this Ashtanga Yoga, so once you know. Why we are coming to Ashtanga Yoga? Once you are successfully stable in Nishkama Karma Yoga, the next step what you can do is you can meditate on the form of Vishnu by using Ashtanga Yoga. So what are these Ashtanga Yogas? Mataji already told 8 types. Now what are these 8 types is shown here. Yama, Niyama and all. So Yama means prohibitions. You know, what are the don'ts? What are the don'ts of performing Ashtanga Yoga? Here it mentioned, we will come what are those don'ts in later slides. Okay, what are the don'ts? And similarly, Niyama means what are the do's, what is prescribed is also mentioned. That also in elaborate will come in the future slides. And third one is asanas, which is meant to control the senses. That is, what are the bodily asanas, in which posture we need to do. Someone will be doing leg on top of the neck and a lot of different variety of twists and a lot of things they will do. Why all they are doing? They all come under asanas, exercises which is meant to control the senses. Control the senses. Okay? So now breathing, pranayama is to control the mind, not the senses. Pranayama is to control the mind, senses. Breathing exercise. Lot of that breathing control. You know, in certain speed we need to breathe. Then our alignment with heart, mind, and soul would be straight, and there is a possibility to control the mind. But we need to basically understand that pranayama is meant to control the mind, and asanas are meant to control the senses. Okay. So breathing exercises. Next is pratyahara, withdrawing senses from the sense objects. How to withdraw the senses from the sense objects? That is talked about pratyahara, and that is next 4 stages are done by yoga rudas. First one is yoga ruruksha for the beginners, and yoga rudas for the advanced Ashtanga yogis. Advanced Ashtanga yogis, yoga ruda. That is, pratyahara is done for withdrawing the senses from the sense objects. Next one is dharana. Dharana is like fixing the mind on the Lord's lotus feet without any deviation. When we are in this stage, no, like us, we won't deviate. When we do try to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Today in the IKEA there is a good offers have come. I need to purchase for the 2 to 3 offer, 3 for 1 offer is there. I will purchase. No, back Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chandana Brothers manchi chair vachindra babu. Welcome, veeru ella lerayna. It goes right. Generally it goes. But the people or the advanced practitioners in Ashtanga Yoga, there are no deviations at all. They completely fix mind on the Lord's form in dharana stage. Okay. Next one is Dhyaana. Dhyaana is intensified meditation on the super soul. Intensified meditation on the super soul who is there within them. The super soul who is there within them. Then when he does this act of Dhyana, 100% meditation on the super soul, that is the full form of Lord Vishnu, he will be able to see Vishnu within him, and also he would be able to speak with him. ఇది ఇమాజిన్ చేసుకోవడం చాలా కష్టం ఎందుకంటే ఇఫ్ యూ టాక్ అబౌట్ మెటీరియల్ పీపుల్ నో, దేవుడు లోపల ఉండటం ఏంటి, అద్దం ఏంటి, అద్దంలో తొడవటం ఏంటి, ఈయన చూసుకోవటం ఏంటి, మాట్లాడుకోవటం ఏంటి, ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నారో భయ్ అని అంటారు. పిచ్చోళ్ళు అనుకుంటారు సీరియస్గా. But the thing is, there are people, luckily in this Bharatavarsha, there are great yogis who are there in this land, who do that, who see Vishnu in their heart. Okay, so that is the stage of dhyana where intensified meditation on that super soul, where you are able to see the super soul. And last one is samadhi, complete absorption, trance. In samadhi, by being in this body, you can travel to different planets also. You can be there here and you can travel. This is again unimaginable. But they do. Luckily there were, and luckily till there are, in future we don't know. As Kali Yuga is progressing, we don't know. But there are people who do travel to different planets. Yeah. Again they can come back and stay in this body. Yeah. So these are the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. All these 8 limbs are mentioned. Now Yama. So when Yama, we talked about don'ts. So what are the don'ts to be in Ashtanga Yoga? What are the don'ts? Yama means don'ts. Social discipline, ahimsa, non-violence, non-violence of any kind. Here it's not only about meat eating alone, with a sense of dominating anyone.
No, even
What is it? Mata, you are asking some. You are asking some question. Am I answering your question? You are asking some question. I have stopped you. You didn't ask. Okay, yeah. So Yama, as I mentioned, don'ts, and these are the don'ts what we need to follow for being in Ashtanga Yoga, wherein ahimsa means non-violence. Non-violence not only does mean that we should stop eating meat, but also any kind of dominant nature, inherent dominant nature, is also a kind of violence on others. Now, Prabhuji, I am working in corporate company. I have a team of around 100 to 150 associates. I need to scold them. I need to do this. Will it not be a violence? No. If you are doing it as a duty of your professional duty, it's not wrong. But you should not, in your mind, you should not have a feeling that I should dominate. For example, as a manager, I scold in the sense I talk harshly with my team sometimes. But they know, and they also never they never again retaliate back, because when I harshly talk, they also understand that if I am stuck in some problem, Mahesh only will help. Okay, training is not there. This is a new technology they have introduced. Somehow our sales team has done this mistake. They have given over-promise to this thing, and they told that this product is got there, and they are putting pressure that we should learn the product knowledge. We are not able to do. Now we are getting client escalations. What to do? So, okay, there is a genuine problem. Then I will try to interact with the learning and development team, try to get an external training, and try to, if possible, get an internal training with the people who already had an experience on working on that product, and try to get them. So I do talk harshly sometimes with the team, but the team understands. Okay, ఏదో తెలుగులో సామెత ఉంది కదా, తినే దెబ్బే కదా ఆగలి ముద్ద కూడా పెట్టేది అని అంటారు కదా, అదేంటి అంతేనా సామెత, ఆర్ ఇస్ ఇట్ సంథింగ్ ఎల్స్? ఐ డోంట్ నో, ఐ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు రెగ్యులేట్. ఎవరైతే కొడతారో ఆర్చేది తీర్చేది అన్నీ తల్లి అన్నట్టు. సో నథింగ్ రాంగ్, బట్ బేసికలీ నాన్ వైలెన్స్ మీన్స్ ద డామినేటింగ్ నేచర్ ఆర్ హర్టింగ్ ఎనీ living entity intentionally or unintentionally. Avoid unintentionally, we can't stop it, but we need to take up this. Satya, truthfulness. So truthfulness is speaking truth. Okay. Ashteya, not stealing. Everyone know. Brahmacharya, celibacy. I mean, if you are a brahmachari, you have to be celibate, and you should avoid association of opposite sex, and you should, being in a grihastha ashram, you should stick with your partner, and you should not go otherwise. And next one is aparigraha, non-possessiveness. Non-possessiveness means having too many of possessions. Don't you feel having too many of possessions, we have a lot of tension? Actually, recently I was hearing Kapil Dev interview 1 week back, I think, where someone was questioning the players who are playing IPL. They are in a lot of pressure. They are in a lot of pressure and all. Kapil Dev give a simple answer. Then don't play IPL. Don't play IPL. నాకు అవ్వ కావాలి గోవా కావాలంటే ఎలా వర్కౌట్ చెప్పండి. హోమ్ లోన్ ఉందండి, ఈఎంఐలు కడుతున్నాం, చాలా హోమ్ లోన్ ఉంది, ఈఎంఐ చాలా కట్ అవుతుంది. అమ్మాయి ఒక ఇల్లు అది అమ్మడానికి రెడీగా ఉంటాడు. సొసైటీలో పేరు తగ్గిపోతుంది కదా. ఒక ఫ్లాట్ కూడా నా పేరు లేకపోతే అందరికేమో 2-3 ఫ్లాట్లు మినిమం, నాకు ఒక ఫ్లాట్ లేకపోతే సొసైటీలో నా పొజిషన్ తగ్గిపోద్దిగా అనే ఫీలింగ్ మనకి. చాలామంది అలా బతికేస్తున్నారు. చాలామంది లాట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ హూ లివ్ ఇన్ దట్ థింగ్ ఓన్లీ. They feel that I have 3 to 4 properties means that there's a minimum criteria for entering into some group, associating with some group. మా పిల్లోడు గిటార్ నేర్చుకుంటున్నాడండి, మా పిల్లోడు మృదంగం నేర్చుకుంటున్నాడండి, మా పిల్లోడు హార్స్ రైడింగ్ నేర్చుకున్నాడండి, మీ పిల్లోడు నేర్చుకున్నాడంటే మన ప్రెషర్ అనమాట. మన పిల్లోడు ఏం నేర్చుకోవట్లేదే. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? No, I have personally seen that. I am sure you also might have seen that. అదే మన ప్రెషర్. అరే అందరి పిల్లలు ఏదో ఒకటి నేర్చుకుంటున్నాం అంటే మన పిల్లోడు వెనకబడిపోతున్నాడేమో, మన పిల్లోడు వేస్ట్ ఏమో, మన పిల్లోడు ఏం రాదేమో. ఇమీడియట్లీ వెదర్ హీ లైక్స్ ఆర్ నాట్, ఇమీడియట్లీ వీ ఆల్సో జాయిన్ గిటార్, వీ ఆల్సో జాయిన్ హార్స్ రైడింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్. So positiveness, that's what the positiveness is about. We should having too much positions, we need to there's a pressure in maintaining them also. My Shiksha Guru often quotes, the more the properties, the more the pain. నిజంగా ఆలోచించండి, మీకు 3-4 ఇల్లు ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, 3-4 ఇళ్ళల్లో రెంట్కి ఇచ్చారు. శాంతి 3-4 houses, you are owning the flats and you are given it for rent, getting the rent from your tenants. If you are lucky, you will be getting the rent on time. If you are not getting, వాళ్ళతో పడి తిరగాల, ఏదో నా పైపు పోయింది, అది పోయింది, ఏసీ పోయింది, వాళ్ళతో ఏం చేయించాలి. సో basic point is you can correlate this with anything. Having too much positions, you need to have a lot of effort to maintain them also. So we should not have too much position. That is about yama. And the niyama is do's, the personal discipline. Fine. Personal niyama means do's. The personal discipline is saucha, cleanliness. We should be clean every day. 2 to 3 times you should bath. At least worship the Lord. Cleanliness. We should be clean. Not only external cleanliness and also internal cleanliness. Discussing about good things, associate with good people. Yesterday, when Mumbai, I went to right after on the first I came to Hyderabad from Vrindavan, and on the same day I went to Mumbai for Spain embassy for getting my business visa stamping done. So I was the only one who wore tilak. So people were, once I came there, people were looking like this. Who is this guy? So it's not that I am a devotee. I'm trying to be a devotee. But the thing is, each and every one, they are displaying their own culture. What is wrong in displaying our culture? Wear tilak and go out. What is wrong in it? My Shiksha Guru often says, whenever I see my Shiksha Guru, he will be there in tilak. Off late, I have been trying to do that. I'm trying to do that, but sometimes I am trying to maintain that as much as I will wear tilak. Whether outside, not for show off purpose. What is wrong in showing our culture outside? Wear tilak. Tappenti. Will someone curse you? If Muslim people wore cap, no one will question. They will have separate prayer room, in airport. No one will question. We can't have a separate meditation room. What is wrong in it? We are lot of Anyway, I don't want to get into that topic, but we need to understand that cleanliness is not only external but also internal cleanliness should be there. Try to display our culture. Try to display our Vedic culture that we belong to. We strongly belong to this Vedic culture, and though I am not a pure, I am trying to be pure. We need to understand, Police and Mataji's, Lord is such a merciful personality. In whatever the worst situation you are in, if you are sincerely putting your effort, Lord is ready to pick you up. A prostitute who has slept with lot of people, and at one stage she felt that I need to surrender to the Lord. That Lord is ready to take her. It's not that, oh, you are this lady, I won't see you. No. A murderer who killed a lot of people. At one stage, he sincerely feel that whatever I did, I have done is wrong. I wanted to reach to Krishna. He also forgives him as well. Mataji, who got who are not with any kind of thing, any kind of difficulty, you say, Krishna is merciful to each and every living entity. Okay, Santosha. Another dose is Santosha. Santosha means contentment. Whatever we are having, be happy with it. At least the Lord is in a good situation. He has kept us in a good situation that you are not having a trouble with roti, kapda and makan. Are we? Roti, kapda and makan, are we? No, right? You should be happy. Actually, I am very happy. Because why I am happy is because we came from a background where my dad used to have only 2 pairs of school dresses to go to school. And we used to have a small hut. In fact, even when I was of her age, we used to stay in a hut in my village. At that time, my father was in Air Force. So, from that stage, my dad always says, because in my home, near my home, a Kummar Gunta was there, where all the pigs and all used to stay, so that we call it as Kummar Gunta. So we all say we are Kummar Gunta batch. So from that very humble background, at least he reached to a stage of, he worked as a deputy superintendent of police and he did a PhD in criminal psychology and is a doctorate. And from that stage, till now he should be content. But the problem, sometimes he is not happy. He dil mange more. He is not content, but I am content. But he feels that I am content. You should not be content, you should progress more. So, we should be content. So, Ashtanga Yoga, tapas, austerity. We should have austerity. Now, I am not talking about the extreme austerities, what Dhruva Maharaj did, what Prahlad Maharaj did. I am not. At least, as a Grihastha, we can come on time. If any good God-conscious activity is happening, come on time. Do take up some service. We can. That is austerity. If this Ekadasi is there, I will not eat non-grain activities. Only non-grain items only I will eat. There are some devotees who only live on water itself, only liquids they eat. Try to do some austerity. On the day, do some additional rounds. What is wrong in it? That is austerity. Austerity is not to pain your body. Give pain to your body, but at least you are making some effort to give pleasure to Krishna. Tapasya. What is the meaning of tapasya? Austerity. What is the definition of austerity? Already lot of times I told. I think Mataji will tell. Tapassu ante anaga emi? Any guesses? Definition of austerity. Sacrifice. Okay. No, I wanted an elaborate explanation in a sentence.
The scientist also called it tapasya.
Scientist also?
A scientist also called it tapasya because he is doing his duty properly and finding something.
There is a difference also. Tapasya means trying to not doing something which you like for the pleasure of the Lord. Not trying to do something you like for the pleasure of the Lord. That is austerity. For example, you like eating banana very much. For example, you like eating banana very much. Then you say, Krishna, for the pleasure of you, I wanted to take only prasadam. I will not take banana now onwards. It is austerity. Now one more scenario. I hate kakarkai. What is it? Bitter gourd. I hate bitter gourd. And I say, Krishna, today onwards I will not eat bitter gourd. Is it austerity? No, right? So whatever you like and then you are stopping it for the pleasure of the Lord, then it is austerity. That is austerity. Clear? Any questions on austerity? So that's what do's means. We need to be prepared for the austerity. Now I'm not talking about extreme austerity, but as a Grihastha we should take tiny steps towards austerity. Take tiny steps. Swadhyaya, study. We should read scriptures. We should believe in scriptures. మనకు ఈరోజు ఏంటంటే the people, if anything we are in a confusion, we try to rather than going to take shelter of scriptures or gurus, we try to take shelter of our neighbors, our friends, who are not qualified much. కొంచెం జగడా హువా, దెబ్బ గొడవ జరిగింది, ఏం చేద్దాం అంటారు, నిన్ను దెబ్బ కొట్టాడన్నా తొడగొట్టు చిన్న, మనం కూడా వెళ్ళి కొడదామన్నా, దెబ్బ తీద్దాము, అది మనకి ఇచ్చే సలహా. అసలు ఏం జరిగింది, అసలు ఎందుకు జరిగింది, అసలు నువ్వేం తప్పు చేశావు, ఎవరైనా ఆరాధిస్తాడా? ఈ కాలేజీలో భలే కూడా బీటెక్లో ఎస్పెషల్లీ వెన్ దిస్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ఫైట్స్ వెరీ ఫన్నీలీ షుడ్ యూస్ టు ఫైట్ silly. Now if I introspect, no, for this silly reason we fought. Our Satya Prabhuji is there in our community. His friend was there. His name is some Rakesh, and he's Satya. He is a pakka Balakrishna, Balai Babu fan. He is a Chiranjeevi fan. Chiranjeevi is like a chimpanzee, like that he teased, and your Balai Babu is a Bhalu, like that he teased. And both of them have not spoken for 2 years. So, we need to always take the shelter of scriptures or guru. So, Swadhyaya, we need to spend some time on reading scriptures. Ishvara Pranidhana. So, surrender to the God. So, once you do these activities, automatically there would be inclination to get surrendered to the Lord. Get surrendered to the Lord. It is something like, if a kid, when he gets associated, for example, his parents' aim is to make him a good cricketer, Sachin Tendulkar. Have you seen Sachin Tendulkar? Till he played the international cricket, he was only associated with the cricket empires, cricket legends. Only with cricket people only he used to associate with. So similarly, when our goal is higher, we need to associate with the devotees, scriptures, guru and all. So we went to Vrindavan. I went to Vrindavan. I was fortunate enough to meet lot of senior sannyasis which I never imagined. I don't want to name them, but the thing is, I luckily I was fortunate enough to meet very seniors, because we deviated from our Vrindavan actual plan, because already I have seen Nandagaon, so I didn't go to Nandagaon. So like that, I deviated my plan and went to see some other points. So that things are very important. Okay. So that is about yama, niyama. Next is pranayama. So as I said, pranayama is to control the senses. Pranayama is to control 2 levels of Ashtanga yoga. As I mentioned, when one is completely purified of material desire, we can do the same thing. These are different asanas. I don't want to dwell into the asanas. There are a lot of pranayama asanas. This is basically to control the senses. Controlling senses and asanas. These are the asanas. Asanas are for the controlling senses, and pranayama is to control the mind. So these are the different asanas. And here it is Aruksha to Aruda stage. So 2 levels of Ashtanga yoga. As I mentioned, these 2 are there, and the last Yoga Aruda stage is the last 4 stages. As I mentioned, mind control and detachment from senses objects are the requirements to come to the advanced stage called Yoga Aruda stage. Hence, Krishna explains importance of mind control. That's what I already mentioned. What is Yoga Rudha and Yoga this thing. Now, so advancing in Ashtanga Yoga, we need to mind is both friend and enemy. This is the famous sloka, as I mentioned. So, how can you take the help of? Here it is. What happens to the uncontrolled mind? When the mind is in enemy, what happens? Sarvam ఇదనేమంటారు, ఏదో సామెత ఉంది తెలుగులో గుర్తు రావట్లా. But the thing is, when there is an uncontrolled mind, there are a lot of things come into the picture. Lack of confidence, loss of trust, madness, dangerous diseases, weakened determination, damage to oneself, family and society, hypertension, stress, depression and all comes. I have personally seen lot of students going through depression. They get habituated with bad habits. Till intermediate, they will be under the parent supervision. Once they go into graduation, that's why we generally give personality development sessions to the first year students. Graduation first year student, I go to JNTU Kukatpalli, And in next week, I think 2 weeks time, I need to go to even ISKCON Abid Jarin again. One Brahmachari Ashram session is there. So we target the people. So uncontrolled mind, there are a lot of repercussions. So result of action with the uncontrolled mind, lot of things: rape, murder, liquor, breaking TVs, picking quarrels, cigarette, burning houses, prostitution, suicide. I have seen one news in Gurgaon where kid. Have you seen that news? Kid destroyed the entire house utensils because his mother has snatched his phone and hidden it from him. Have you heard that? If you want, I will forward that video. The kid has broken all TV and everything because his mother has hid the mobile phone. Uncontrolled mind. So mechanism of the mind. So intelligence, the decision maker; mind, storehouse of the thoughts, unfulfilled desires, previous experiences, the senses. So we need to understand that these are the sources for our desires. Whatever the sense objects are there, sometimes blind people are very lucky. Really. Actually, one Mataji is there. What is that Mataji name, Shanti? Blind people. So one Mataji is there. She is taking care of blind school. She is teaching around 20 to 30 blind students. And there is a possibility blind students can curse Krishna, right? Hate Krishna, why you are impartial to us, you are given Champaklata Mataji. She is initiated devotee, Champaklata Mataji. She takes care of some blind kids. And Shanti is also helping her in drafting some scriptures for the blind. So for the blind, how they can read, and she is helping them. The thing is, why I brought it? Senses. So senses are the inputs for our desires. పోస్టర్ చూస్తాం, ఆ పోస్టర్లో హీరో ఇలా ఉంటాడు. చిన్నప్పుడు అత్తకి ఎముడు అమ్మాయికి మూడు, చిరంజీవి పోస్టర్ యూస్ టు బి దేర్ లైక్ దిస్. వాట్ ఏ పోజ్, నో, అసలు వండర్ఫుల్ పోజ్. ఒకసారి వెళ్ళి చూడాల్సి. సిన్స్ ఐ హావ్ సీన్ దట్, ఐ గాట్ అ డిజైర్ టు సీ దట్ మూవీ, రైట్? So if I taste one wonderful thing, I want more, dil mange more. So mind, senses are the entry points for our desires. So it goes to mind, and mind thinks what to do. Now intelligence, always we should have intelligence to guide the mind, not mind guiding the intelligence. It is something like intelligence is the father, mind is the mother, and senses are kids. So it's not that father rule should always prevail. That's very gravely I mentioned this example. Like we need to understand always intelligence is the one which is expected to guide the mind to take a proper action. But when mind guides intelligence, it gets spoiled. So symptoms of Yoga Rudha, there are dualities. We need to symptoms of Yoga Rudha people. Chair. So it is again the same thing is compared with chariot of the body. I think this diagram everyone knows, right? 5 senses. The horses are the 5 senses, and the ropes are the mind, and driver is the intelligence, and he is the soul. Actually, this particular depiction is given in Manduk Upanishad. That this particular chariot example is given in the Manduk Upanishad. So symptoms of a Yoga Rudha person is actually, this world we are having lot of dualities. When I say dualities, night is there, so day is there. Rich people are there, poor people are there. Knowledgeable people are there, and very uneducated people are there. So lot of dualities are there in this world. But the symptom of the Yoga Rudha people are something like he has always an equal vision. Whether you put a stone in this hand and gold in this hand, both are same to him. But for people like me, wow, throw karo, so becho. That's our mentality. But Yoga Rudha people are of that stage. Have you come across anyone like that in your life? By any chance? No? Then I think you need to come. I think a lot of sannyasis and brahmacharis are there. Probably, how many of you know Radhesham Prabhuji? Okay. Yeah, he is coming on November 27th, by the way. So, yeah, so these are the symptoms of Yoga Rudha. since we are in a hurry to leave, now we will come to the stages of Ashtanga Yoga. Already we have explained. Having described the perfectional stage of Ashtanga Yoga, we will now describe the activities in the practice stage. That is the method to achieve the goal of perfection. Basic practice of meditation, and meditation is the advanced stage of Ashtanga Yoga, perfection in meditation. So anyway, that's what I talked about. Yoga Rudha stage is once we Yoga Ruksha stage, we do the first four parts of Ashtanga Yoga, and next four are done by the Yoga Rudha stage where they are very balanced. Next lesson is Ashtanga Yoga, A for Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga, practicing in the Yoga Rudha stage. So here in the Ashtanga Yoga stage, people goes to a serene place or a holy place, and the sitting posture is very erect when they do asanas. That is the general posture when they do asanas. And and he has to follow all the he has to follow some regulations, not too much of sleeping, or not too much of eating, or not too much of mingling with the materialistic people. It does Shanta. So we need to understand that we often see in dhams that kind of people. That kind of people we see in dhams, Vrindavan Dham, Mathura Dham, Mayapur Dham, what is it, Dwaraka, Puri, and all. These Ashtanga yogis are expected to not overdo anything. Eating aina, sleeping aina, ఏదైనా సరే ఎక్కువ చేయకూడదు. బాడీ మెయింటైన్ చేసిన వరకు తినాలి, పడుకోవాలి అంతే. Rest of the time they should be completely occupied in Harinama Japam or meditating on the Lord's form. So nowadays, as I mentioned, that yoga has become a joke. Iyengar from South, I think. Iyengar from South, one Iyengar in South is very popular all over the world in yoga system. Do you know? Have you heard of him? Iyengar. Okay. The Iyengar ji and my aspiring Maharaj, from whom I am aspiring Diksha, okay. Radhana Swami Maharaj, both of them had a discussion. And my Maharaj was asking Iyengar ji that you are a very popular person in the whole world. You are teaching yoga to the entire world. What is a nice thing, right? A very wonderful thing you are doing. It's very great to see that and all. He was appreciating Iyengar ji. Then Iyengar ji told Radhana Swami Maharaj, my Maharaj, that I am only teaching the levels of, higher levels of Ashtanga Yoga, the first four ones. And most of the people who come here are basically for, as I said, for fitness, or for increasing beauty, or for living long, or for a beautiful body and all. They come. But you are the people who are actually teaching the purpose of yoga. That is ultimate purpose of yoga, that is uniting with the God. You are great. That like that in turn Iyengar ji has appreciated the ISKCON Society or Radhana Swami Maharaj. He has appreciated. So that's how it is. But he has a long desire of somewhere he was having a guilty. Though he has achieved lot of popularity, but he was having a guilt, and he was having a desire to write a book of what are the core things of yoga. So finally he wrote, and at the age of 95 he left the body, Iyengar ji. So he has given the core principles of yoga. So that's what he talks about. So in such meditation, material desires are avoided and replaced by the spiritual desires. So basic practice of so here it is mentioned how we sit, that is sitting erectly, and here it is recommendations in Ashtanga Yoga. Also here it is mentioned on how to sitting and how to regulate our activities like sleeping and eating. Perfection stage of Ashtanga Yoga. Perfection in Ashtanga Yoga does not waver like a lamp in windless place. So even in this Ashtanga Yoga, if you are perfect in Ashtanga Yoga, even when you are in So even when you are in Ashtanga Yoga, you are not perturbed or disturbed in that stage. You are not deviated. It's like a lamp in a room. How the lamp never flickers in a room, in a closed room. That's what he is given an example of. So realization in perfection, samadhi of Ashtanga Yoga. Attaining perfection in Ashtanga Yoga. So methods to attain Yogarudha stage, here it is given, but the mind keeps wondering what to do. So finally, again Arjuna asks, this Ashtanga Yoga, here I think it looks to be a very taxing part. Do you agree or not? Ashtanga Yoga is taxing or not? You have to do a lot of asanas, physical, this thing, that thing, you have to do lot of asanas are there. Okay, so already you have discussed necessity of controlling the mind. Arjuna's concern was Ashtanga Yoga is impractical due to fickle mind. So such a strong mind is supposed to be controlled with the practice of yoga, but Arjuna found it impractical for an ordinary person. So in the next two verses, Krishna gives solution for dealing with the mind. So does it sound impractical or not to us? Is Arjuna's question valid or not? Arjuna found it impractical for ordinary person. మనం ఇప్పుడు హిమాలయాలకు వెళ్ళి అష్టాంగ యోగా చేసుకొని ఇన్ని ఆసనాలు ఇవన్నీ చేసుకోవడం సబబమే అంటారా? కాదు కదా. సో దట్స్ వాట్ కృష్ణ మెన్షన్స్ హియర్. సో ప్రాక్టీస్ మేక్స్ పర్ఫెక్ట్, necessity of controlling the mind. Krishna's solution: control the mind by practice and detachment. Conclusion: mind control is must for yoga. Having heard from Krishna that one should endeavor to control the mind in the practice of yoga, Arjuna became inquisitive to know what happens to someone who fails to continue his endeavor in the yoga practice. So this much, though we are endeavoring to be in yoga or in Krishna consciousness. Yesterday we were doing this activity of distributing Bhagavatam. Whole day we have distributed in 3 temples in Attapur. And whole day, and most of the time we were doing this Krishna conscious activity only. Mataji was catching the camera, or I was anchoring kind of a thing. I was introducing the pujari there. He is Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. We are trying to donate Srimad Bhagavatam, and our temple Acharya Jani Krishna Gopalji has gleefully accepted to take these donations. So we are requesting him to come down to my home Avatar on November 27th to grace the program, and all. I gave a video. So most of our day yesterday went on Krishna consciousness activity only. So like that, so controlling the mind is, Arjuna became inquisitive to know what happens to someone. We try to make an attempt to be in yoga stage, but what if we fail? What if we fail? Arjuna is asking, if we in this endeavor, ఈ ప్రయత్నంలో పొరపాటున నేను ఎక్కడైనా ఫాల్ డౌన్ అయితే ఏంటి నాకేంటి? Okay, so that's what this question is. That is the 3rd chapter we are coming to, that is as success or failure. In this success or failure, Krishna explains, the path of Ashtanga Yoga is very difficult, that everyone accepts. But why it is difficult? We need to go to the secluded place, and we should be free from the material desires and being totally detached. So this is a very complicated thing for grahasthas like us, like Arjuna. That's what he was pointing at. In case if I try and fell down from spiritual life, ఫెల్ డౌన్ అయితే మళ్ళీ నేను స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి చేయాలా, నా సంగతి ఏంటి, నేను బుక్ అయిపోయినట్టే కదా, నేను అడ్డంగా బుక్ అయినట్టే కదా అని హీఈస్ లామెంటింగ్. సో ఫర్ దట్ Krishna says the destination of unsuccessful yogi. Arjuna's inquiry about the fate of a fallen yogi is mentioned here. Okay, he mentions that whatever the attempt you make in spiritual life, it is not gone waste. It is truly not gone waste. And he gives, they will be those who are taking the auspicious path will never be destroyed. That's what Krishna is trying to point out. Whoever takes this auspicious path, there might be some people who might be donating. They might not be a spiritual persons, but they might be interested in donating. Krishna takes care of them by giving them a good birth in the coming life. They will be born in good aristocratic family or good Brahmana family where they can progress further. As I said, whatever the activity we do in Krishna consciousness, it is akarma. Akarma means always that akarma balance would always increase or be in stable, but never decreases. Positive karma, it might increase and decrease. Negative karma, it might increase and decrease. But akarma is karma. Whatever the little karma you are doing, Krishna is ensuring that for sure those will be born in heavenly planets or in a good aristocratic or Brahmana family where they can continue their spiritual journey from where they have left. We guarantee that whoever is coming or trying to make an effort to understand the message of the Lord, next life surely is confirmed that you all, minimum to minimum, you will be getting a good family. You will not be having any trouble regarding money, food and clothing. No doubt about it. That's what Krishna mentioned. So they will be born in rich aristocratic family or Brahmana family and maximize their spiritual life further. Like Agarwal family, Ambani family, who knows? So like that, depending on that they will be born. But what about the people who has done? And these are about the people who have done little Krishna consciousness activity. But what about the people who did 80 to 90% of Krishna consciousness activity and then from that stage they have fallen? What about them? For them, Krishna is mentioning Shanti Bhagavadgita. Okay, English book. I can give one English book. I need to read out the purport, please. So there is a purport in that 6.42 session where it is given. So Srila Prabhupada, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Parishit Maharaj, Uddhava, they all are of that category where they are born rich. They are born materially rich also, spiritually rich also. So they are born in that category. 90% means. Yeah, I just wanted to read out this purport from 6.42. Yeah, 6.42, the purport only will read. So here he mentions. Yeah. 42. Yes. Okay, in 6.42 the purport he says. If unsuccessful after a long practice of yoga, he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is a very rare in this world. Devotees like Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and a lot of other devotees, Ramanujacharya, Srila Swami, and all, they are born in a transcendentalist family. That means that only 90% of their previous janma they have been completely into this. Purport says, birth in a family of yogis or transcendentalists, those with great wisdom, is praised herein because the child born in such a family receives a spiritual impetus from the very beginning of his life. I am not from very beginning of the life. I have taken Krishna consciousness activity from 5 years back only. The Krishna consciousness activity it doesn't only mean that you have to be in ISKCON, but this is God consciousness. I am talking about God consciousness. Okay. It is especially the case in the acharyas or Goswamis or families. Such families are very learned and devoted by tradition and training, and thus they become spiritual masters. In India, there are many such acharya families, but they have now degenerated due to insufficient education and training. By the grace of the Lord, there are still families that foster transcendentalists generation after generation. It is certainly very fortunate to take birth in such families. Fortunately, both our spiritual masters, Om Vishnupada Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj and our humble self had the opportunity to take birth in such families by the grace of the Lord. And both of us were trained in the devotional service of the Lord from the very beginning of our lives. Later on, we met by the order of transcendental systems. Are you getting proposition, Madhajis? Even Lord doesn't leave, even if you do a 5 to 10% of Krishna consciousness activity, he is giving assurance. Probably he might not give the entire, at least he will ensure that your next life is secured. No need to worry about roti kapda makan. But there is a possibility that there is no guarantee also that you will continue. Your free will is there. In that full money and all, there is a possibility. Wonderful. Some people say that అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి నాకెందుకు దేవుడు They will not understand why they are in situation because they have done some. ఏంటమ్మా అన్ని నేను అక్కర్లేదు అనొద్దు అన్నారు ఒక మాతాజీ అన్నారు అంట తప్పు. కానీ ఒక మాతాజీ నాతో మీరు మొత్తం ఈరోజు వచ్చినట్టు మాతాజీ నాతో అన్నారు ఏమని, మంచి భర్త, అందమైన భర్త, నెలకి 4-5 లక్షలు వచ్చే శాలరీ, మంచి పిల్లలు, బాగా చదువుకున్న పిల్లలు, నాకు దేవుడు అవసరం అంటారా అని అన్నారు. అని దాని పెద్ద డిఫరెంట్ టాపిక్ లేదు, బట్ దట్స్ హౌ ఈజ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ కృష్ణ ఈజ్ ఎన్షూరింగ్ దట్ దే విల్ బి టేకన్ కేర్. ఓకే, సో హ్యూమానిటీ, సో నాన్ రెగ్యులేటెడ్, regulated path of auspiciousness, following scriptures or followers of scriptures for material enjoyment, those working for liberation, devotees in KC. Non-regulated, animal propensity, never auspicious, civilized, educated, strong, uncivilized, uneducated, weak. So they are given different categories. So in human form of life we have God developed intelligence to discriminate and lead responsible lives. మనకు ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ ఇచ్చింది, ఈ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ మిగతా ఏ జీవరాశుల్లో లేదు. ఓన్లీ ఇన్ హ్యూమన్ ఫామ్ ఓన్లీ వీఆర్ హ్యావింగ్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. అట్లీస్ట్ వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్. బహునాం జన్మానామాంతే వీఆర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్, బట్ ఇన్ అదర్ entities it is not possible. Okay, now here it is, we degrade to lower life forms. ఇంత కష్టపడి హ్యూమన్ ఫామ్ ఇస్తే ఎవరైతే హూ ఆర్ నాట్ యూటిలైజింగ్ దిస్ హ్యూమన్ ఫామ్ ప్రాపర్లీ, దే విల్ బి డిగ్రేడెడ్ టు లోవర్ ఫార్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్. ఇఫ్ వీ లీడ్ రెస్పాన్సిబుల్ లైఫ్ ఫాలోయింగ్ రిలీజియస్ ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ అండ్ ప్రాక్టీసింగ్, దెన్ వాట్? Austerity, we need to be austere. Thinking on the form of the Lord, sacrifice, chanting is also one kind of sacrifice. Cultivation of knowledge, we need to understand. See, actually I'm going to post message in a group also. 200 people are there in the group. No, hardly 20-25 people are coming in the session. I really try to contemplate why people are there in the group. One possibility is they have good knowledge, they don't want. One possibility is, I was discussing with my Guruji, my Shago. Some people are having a inquisitive, అసలు కమ్యూనిటీలో అసలు ఏం జరుగుతుంది, మనం కూడా ఉన్నాము, అలా ఉంటే పని అయిపోతుంది, అసలు ఏం జరుగుతుందో అసలు తెలుసుకోవడం, క్యూరియాసిటీ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఉంటుందట కొంతమందికి, అలా ఉండొచ్చట. న్యూస్ లెటర్ లాగా ప్రతిరోజు ఈనాడు న్యూస్ పేపర్ వస్తుంది, మీరు చదువుతారా చదవరు? మా డాడీ అయితే మొత్తం పేజ్ టు పేజ్ చదువుతారు. చాలామంది ఇళ్లలో న్యూస్ పేపర్ వస్తుంది, అందులో చాలామంది చదవరు, ఆన్లైన్ వచ్చాక పని న్యూస్ పేపర్ వస్తుంది. అలాగా గ్రూప్లో ఉండటం, ఐ డోంట్ నో వాట్ ఇస్ ద రీజన్, బట్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు సెండ్ అవుట్ ఎ స్ట్రాంగ్ మెసేజ్ on that. But so cultivation of knowledge, we need to be inquisitive in knowing the knowledge. If we are not able to serve you properly, then at least try to understand that these are the important questions in your life to be known. Why you have been given a human birth, why there is a death, why there is a life. Why do bad things happen to good people? We need to learn these things. If you are not able to understand from me, at least try to understand from the people who are having knowledge and who are under the parampara. But don't leave knowing the knowledge. నా దగ్గర కాదు, వేరే దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళండి, but try to gain the knowledge. Okay, that's a cultivation of knowledge we need to be inquisitive of. There are so many personalities, మనం ఏంటంటే డబ్బు జనరల్గా పారామీటర్ ఏంటంటే వై వి గో ఫార్ అవే ఫ్రమ్ లార్డ్ ఈజ్ పీపుల్, జనాలకి డబ్బు ఎక్కువ అవుతే నేనే గొప్ప అనే ఫీలింగ్ వచ్చేస్తుంది జనరల్ టెండెన్సీ. డబ్బు ఉంటే ఇంకా ఏం కనపడవు. బట్ ద థింగ్ ఈస్ ద లాట్ బియాండ్ ద మనీ దట్ మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ డోంట్ అండర్స్టాండ్. అసోసియేటింగ్ విత్ ద saintly person, you need to associate with saintly person. You need to, when you associate with the saintly people, lot of things you will know, lot of things, the conviction will increase. We might be in a situation where you know that scriptures are right, and you know whatever scriptures are teaching, they are right, but you might not be having a 100% conviction within yourself. మీలో మీకు గట్టిగా బలమైన నమ్మకం ఉండొచ్చు. మీరు ఇలాంటి సెయింట్లీ పీపుల్తో కలిశారనుకోండి, కలిసి వాళ్ళతో మాట్లాడితే మీకు మీ నమ్మకం అనేది ఇంకా బలపడుతుంది. బలపడితే మనం ఈ ఆధ్యాత్మిక జీవితంలో ముందుకు వెళ్ళచ్చు. సో దట్స్ వాట్ వీఆర్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్. అసోసియేషన్ ఈజ్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్, వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. Luckily, even Vrindavan trip was really very wonderful trip for me, to be frank. I really loved it. And after 5 days of Vrindavan trip, I felt that somewhere when we go with 1,200 devotees, it's like very clumsy. You have to only go with the plan. If I wanted to meditate for some time there in some place, I can't do. I have to go on time. That independence won't be there. So next time I wanted to go alone or with a limited devotees, say 40 or 50. That's it. I would love to go like that. Because for 1,200 people, no, it's very. I can't blame anyone there, but it's very clumsy. Plan is very clumsy. But they have made wonderful arrangements. I should appreciate. So associating with saintly people is very important to increase our conviction towards the Lord, towards the surrender of the Lord, or towards the teaching of the scriptures, whatever they are talking about. Durlabha Manav Janma. How many are understanding that human birth is rare? Rarely we will get a human birth. People are simply living like that. They don't even know what is the next. Okay, most of them, they are an impression of death is the end, that's it. Which is utterly wrong. They are only believing their CBSE and ICSE syllabus education, which is hardly 60 to 70 years old. But this Vedic knowledge is time immemorial. Okay, so these are the different nine modes of devotional ways. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Dasyam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Atma Nivedanam, all would be coming here. Atma Nivedanam, Sakhyam, all are different examples. I don't want to dwell into this much. Okay, so here we elevate gradually to the kingdom of the Lord. So there are so many definitions of unsuccessful yogi, the same thing. See, Vishwamitra, he has Menaka came, he was doing wonderfully tapasya he was doing. Menaka came and she sang Jumka Gira Re and he fell. He cursed her. Then again, next time Ramba came and he cursed her also. Only after he took the shelter of Lord Rama, then he became purified. Okay, then he became purified. So like that, Lord never leaves his devotees. Though he has fallen, he has taken care of the devotees. Similarly, here it is Sobermuni has doing tapasya under the water, and he has seen the fishes. He has seen the fishes who are mating, and he got desire, and he married a king's daughter, and later he has seen the material world, all the problems he has seen, and later after realizing that God is ultimate and he surrendered completely to the Lord, then he got liberated. So Lord never leaves any unsuccessful yogi. We need to understand that. Okay, so like that, there are a lot of people know misfortune. An unsuccessful yogi who falls after a short practice, as I mentioned, they will be taking birth in a aristocratic family, and so these are the examples. Bharata Muni, we should not get attached. Though Bharata Muni, he at the end of his life, he got attached to the deer. Jinkaki attach ayyadu Bharata Muni. Attach avadamto enta attach ayyadante next janma దేవుడి కంటే ఆ జింక మీద ఎక్కువ అటాచ్మెంట్ అయ్యి జింకగా పుట్టాడంట. మీరు ఆలోచించండి, మనకు కమ్యూనిటీలో ఎంతమంది కుక్కల మీద అటాచ్మెంట్ పెంచుకున్నారు. అంటే నా ఉద్దేశం వాళ్ళు పుట్టాలని కాదమ్మా, కానీ విషయం ఏంటంటే వీ నీడ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ పీపుల్ ఆర్ నాట్ నోయింగ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రయారిటీ. ఐ డోంట్ మీన్ దట్ యూ షుడ్ హర్ట్ ఎ డాగ్. I don't mean that we should not be kind to them. But some people, I have seen in my apartment, one Mataji was in our community group, she was talking, Deepavali, lot of crackers are there, dogs, poor dogs are troubled and all. Same lady, every Sunday she will bring chicken and eat. Actually, one Prabhu, this sort of things I will not bear, I will give a very strong reply. But one Prabhuji stopped me. ఎంత అసలు ఎంత ఇది చేస్తారంటే అసలు టూ మచ్ అసలు సమ్మర్ ఎగ్జామ్ బికాజ్ వీలైతే శాంతం పాటిస్తాం కానీ ప్రభుజీ ఒక లిమిట్ దాటితే కొంచెం ఇచ్చేది గట్టినే ఇస్తాను. జనరల్గా ఇవ్వలేము, ఇచ్చేది గట్టిగానే ఇస్తాం. Dogs, this thing, what this thing, very, you should not, simple thing you should do అని చెప్తూ ఉంటే నాకు కాలుతుంది. So it happens. We don't, I'm not a dog hater, we will see equally, but so here it is in scriptures, it is there, it already happened. So he took but luckily since he was a yogi and did a wonderful practice, even as a deer he remembered his past life and he remembered his spiritual life and he accepted everything, and next life he took birth as a Jadabarta, and as a Jadabarta story, if you hear, you will cry, Mataji. I don't know how many of you know Jadabarta story? Jadabarta story, I think time will not be sufficient, you will cry. Jadabarta story. He remembers his past life, and to not deviate, he acts like a madman. మీరు చాలా గొప్పవారు అంటే how difficult the life would have been. One day we will tell Jadabarta story, wonderful story. Okay, like that, special concession for a devotee, even if he attains a non-human body, by Lord's grace he advances further in the devotional service, whether by remembering his past life or by natural causes. So last lesson is yogi. So bhakti yogi. Bhakti yogi is so Krishna concludes that bhakti yogi is the ultimate yogi is greater than tapasvi and jnani and karmi. So tapasvi might eat less. Bhakti yogi who serves Krishna is the best of. Krishna himself confirms among all the yogas, bhakti yoga is the best. That's what Krishna confirms. Okay. So here in this bhakti yoga is best, he confirms, and apart from that, he in karma yoga, major challenge what we see is there is a bit of difference between all the yogas, but bhakti yoga, there is a major difference is, for all other yogas your individual effort is required more. Individual effort is required more. Ashtanga yoga is performed with lot of austerities needed. Body ni ishtam vachinattu vanchali. Gnana yoga means only earlier only the Brahmins were only supposed to read the books, and they were only meant they need to read lot of books to make the normal populace understand the scriptures. So it's effort taking activities were other yoga systems were there, but in bhakti yoga it is you can engage your senses, and enormous endeavors needed, and in the path of Jnana only sannyasis used to do that. And in the bhakti yoga, we like a child, we take care of dependence on Krishna is more in bhakti yoga. In all other yogas, your effort or endeavor is more, and in bhakti yoga we depend on Lord more. There are a lot of degree holders or PhD holders who depend on their knowledge, and they don't prefer depending on Lord. To some extent, they won't leave. They will not agree that I need to leave it to the. They feel that leaving it to the Lord is our inability. That is wrong actually. We have to do our best. After that, we need to leave to the God. Always you can't be successful. That's what the point is understanding. So in bhakti yoga, he reveals lot of things about himself, and as you know, we are almost in the end of the chapter, and as I mentioned in the very first session, I told this Bhagavadgita is like a sandwich. One bread sandwich lo emuntadamma, bread and నాకు వెజిటబుల్స్ ఇష్టం లేదు, నాకు జామే ఇష్టం. ఓకే, రెండు బ్రెడ్లు మధ్యలో జామ్. సో దట్ ఈస్ శాండ్విచ్. దాన్ని శాండ్విచ్ అంటారా? జామ్ పెట్టిన శాండ్విచ్ అంటారు కదా. ఎస్. సో 2 బ్రెడ్ మధ్యలో జామ్. సో ఫస్ట్ 6 chapters ఆర్ ద ఫస్ట్ జామ్, సెకండ్ 6 chapters ఆర్ ద జామ్. సారీ, ఫస్ట్ 6 chapters ఆర్ ద ఫస్ట్ బ్రెడ్, సెకండ్ 6 chapters ఆర్ ద జామ్, అండ్ థర్డ్ 6 chapters ఆర్ ద అనదర్ బ్రెడ్. So 7th chapter, the first 6 chapters are karma yoga, second 6 chapters are the bhakti yoga, last 6 chapters are the jnana yoga. So finally, the 6th chapter ending, he concludes Bhakti Yoga is the best, and from 7th chapter onwards, we will start Bhakti Yoga. So that's what he stresses a lot, and in Bhakti Yoga, he reveals lot of things about himself and what is the reasoning behind whatever he is. He is the Supreme Personality of God, why he is, and all this explanation he gives in the next 6 chapters. That's what he stresses. So, so out of these three sections, in the first sections, Krishna tells about Arjuna. Again, a quick recap I wanted to mention. So, in the first chapter, we have seen that Krishna mentions Arjuna to not refrain from doing the war. I am doing a quick recap. Almost it's done. Quick recap, okay? In the first chapter, he mentions about Krishna to not refrain from doing the war, because Arjuna is only thinking from a dharma point of view. Na bhatru dharma enti, na Raja dharma enti. Only from dharma point of view, Arjuna was thinking, and Duryodhana was thinking from ardha point of view. నేను ఇది చేస్తే నాకు ఏం లాభం వస్తుంది, నేను వాడిని ఇది చేస్తే ఆ కుతంత్రం చేస్తే నాకేం లాభం వస్తుంది. So only he was thinking from the ardha point of view. Mana Duryodhana. Okay, Duryodhana was thinking from an ardha shastra point of view. So Krishna mentions that you should not think about all of them. Do it as a order of me, because I am a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do it as a order of God. You do it like that. Like that, Krishna pushes Arjuna to think like that. It is not, don't think about your dharma, think about paro dharma. What is the dharma above dharma? Savai pumsam paro dharma. Savai pumsam paro dharma. Yato bhaktir adokshaje. Okay, like that, he talks about paro, think about that. So like that, he mentioned, and don't think that it's whatever the war you are going to do, it's a normal war. Don't think that like that. Prabhuji and Mataji, try to understand that whatever the war was done, that was a major mileage in the history. Had that war not been done on that day, today, teasing Matajis or looting Matajis or spoiling Matajis, and it used to be a simple thing. Draupadi jarigindi యుద్ధం జరగకపోయి ఉంటే ఈరోజు ఇట్ యూస్ టు బి ఏ నార్మల్ లా. ఏమిటి ఆ మాతాజీని చెడిచాడు, అంతే కదా లైట్ తీసుకునేవాడు. సో ఇవన్నీ కృష్ణ నోస్ అబౌట్ ద ఫ్యూచర్. సో దట్ ఇస్ ద రీజన్ వై కృష్ణ స్ట్రెసెస్ ద పాయింట్ టు అర్జున దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు నాట్ ట్రీట్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఎ నార్మల్ వార్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ ధర్మ యుద్ధ. యూ నీడ్ టు ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ ధర్మ ఫర్ ఆల్ ద ఫ్యూచర్ జనరేషన్స్ టు కమ్. ఊరికనే భగవద్గీత మీద ప్రమాణం చేసి సచ్ కే సివా కుచ్ నహీ कहूंगा అని ఊరికనే అనలా. దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ వెరీ వ్యాలిడ్ రీజన్ ఫర్ దట్. Okay, so that's what Krishna stresses to Arjuna in the first chapter, and so in this war Arjuna's Vishada Yoga is beginning in the first chapter. So in the second chapter, how he talks about the knowledge of soul and body, because he is materially relating him with himself, that my grandfather, my brother, my this thing, my that thing, only material from blood relation point of view only he was thinking. Though in the second lesson Krishna gives a knowledge of soul and body. All this Bhishma, Duryodhana, all were killed by me, Arjuna, don't worry. వీళ్ళందరినీ నేను ఒకప్పుడు చంపాను. ఇది కొత్తగా నువ్వు చాలా మెటీరియల్ అటాచ్మెంట్తో ఉన్నావు, నువ్వు బ్లడ్ రిలేషన్ రక్త సంబంధంతో ఉన్నావు. వీళ్ళందరినీ ఒకప్పుడు నేను చంపినవాడిని, కానీ నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు నా పాత్రకి నేను చేయాలనుకున్న దానికి నువ్వు సూత్రధారి అవుతావా కావా? నేను చేసే యజ్ఞంలో నువ్వు సమిధ అవ్వడానికి ప్రయత్నిస్తావా లేవా? నువ్వు నాకు యుద్ధం చేయకపోతే దెర్ ఆర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ అదర్ ఆప్షన్స్ ఫర్ మీ టు గెట్ దిస్ భగవద్గీత రివీల్డ్. దట్స్ వాట్ హీ మెన్షన్స్ ఇన్ సెకండ్ చాప్టర్. సో లైక్ దట్, so here our acharya gives an example of a coconut lo em untadi naam yashasvi baar na bhul ja raha hu. yashasvi coconut मालूम है आपको? coconut में क्या रहता है?
in a green coconut
हाँ.
coconut juice, but in a normal brown
no green coconut only you talk about. Okay, coconut. Now I will try to dissect her answer. In the green coconut we have water, we have coconut, we have shield, we have pichu, fiber is there, right? Yeah. So like that, our body is also this particular pichu is nothing but our body, and this shield, whatever the shield is there, the shield is nothing but our mind, body and intelligence. And coconut is us, Jivatma, and water is devotion to the Lord. Easy to catch? Or I confused you? So always Jivatma should be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. So we always, Yashasvi, we prefer eating coconut and drinking water, or eating shield or fiber.
We prefer drinking coconut
Water, yes.
fiber.
No, fiber will not eat. We eat coconut.
We don't eat the shield and fiber.
Yes.
We
Yes.
drink the water and eat the coconut.
Yes. So we leave fiber and shield. So we need to leave this. Don't worry much about. Don't get attached much with the middle body, which is like a fiber. Attach only with the soul and super soul, water and coconut. That's what the comparison is given. Okay. So like that, so like body, you're like so soul is we mentioned this particular example. So like that, in second chapter, concept of reincarnation is also given. Anyone here who don't believe in reincarnation, పునర్జన్మ ఉంటదా ఉండదా అందరికి ఉండదననే వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా ఉన్నారా? Who anyone believes that there is no reincarnation? So no worries. So that's what Krishna explains in the second chapter about reincarnation as well. And Karma Kanda also introduces Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga, and a little bit of Nishkama Karma Yoga also he mentioned in the second chapter, and Buddhi Yoga also introduces, and he uses intelligence, and being Sthita Prajna also he guides. But Arjuna thinks that being Sthita Prajna means renunciating the responsibilities. That's what he thinks in the end of second chapter. Okay, so like that he ends the second chapter, and while being a renounced person, should I renounce the world or do my prescribed duties? That's what the doubt Arjuna has by end of second chapter. And in the third chapter he mentions about Karma Yoga. In the Karma Yoga, he solidly established that with the proper purification only, you need to do your karma or do devotional duty. So if he renounces, he will fall down, and externally he might be renounced, but internally he is not renounced. I have given ample examples. నేను సన్యాసం పుచ్చుకున్నాను అనుకుంటారు, కానీ లోపల మా వాడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాడు, వాడి ఆస్తులు వాడు బాగానే చూసుకుంటున్నాడా లేదా, వాడు నేను లేకపోతే వాడు ఏమైపోతాడు, ఏమవ్వదు. చాలామంది ఉన్నారు కదా. అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ దెర్ ఆర్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ పేరెంట్స్ లైక్ దట్. నేను లేకపోతే వాడు ఏమైపోతాడు పిచ్చోడు. Again, dogs, the people who are taking care of dogs, they feel that had I not been there, dog, how it would have been surviving. Krishna is there to take. Before them, dog adoption, was Krishna not taking care of them? He was taking care of them. Right? So like that, people are having that attachment. So he talks about in the third chapter that renouncement with improper purification is not allowed. After purification only the renouncement is allowed. So that's what Krishna says. So you need to do Nishkama Karma Yoga for proper purification of mind. In this way, Krishna convinces Arjuna to do Nishkama Karma Yoga in the third chapter. And in the fourth chapter, Krishna proceeded to give the transcendental knowledge on how his birth and activities are divine. In the fourth chapter, Krishna lays a strong foundation that నేను మామూలు మనిషిని కాదురా నాయన, నేను సుప్రీం ఫాదర్. అదే అషాన్షాలో డైలాగ్ ఉంది కదా, రిష్తే మే తో హమ్ తేరే బాప్ లగ్తే హై అంటారు. సో నేను రిష్తే మే తేరా బాప్ కాదురా, నేను నిజమైన బాపుని మీ అందరికీ అని కృష్ణ ఈ ఎస్టాబ్లిషెస్ స్ట్రాంగ్లీ ఇన్ ద ఫోర్త్ చాప్టర్. అండ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ మై బర్త్ ఈస్ దేర్, మై యాక్టివిటీస్ ఆర్ దేర్, ఆల్ ఆర్ డివైన్. నేను చేసినది ఎవ్వరు చేయలేదు, ఏ దేవుడు చేయలేదు. చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఆయన లీవ్ అయిన వరకు ఉన్నన్ని లీలలు ఎవరు చేయాలి. మన బృందావనంలో I was thinking, I went to Brahmanda. I don't know whether you might have seen the video. Brahmanda, in the same very place he has shown the Brahmanda. And there was a place where the tree is still there, where from that tree only he jumped on to Kaliya Nag and he subsided Kaliya. So the tree is still there. So that those are the pastime locations. So those all these activities are మామూలు మనిషి చేయడరా బాబు, నీ అయ్యను నేను కాబట్టి చేయగలిగాను, వేరే వాడు చేయలేడు. సో నన్ను మామూలు మనుషులుగా పరిగణించొద్దు, ఆయన సుప్రీం పర్సనాలిటీ ఆఫ్ గాడ్ అని గుర్తుపెట్టుకో, కాబట్టి నువ్వు నా మాట ఆలోచించు అని మంచి గట్టిగా చెప్తున్నాను అనమాట 4th చాప్టర్లో ట్రాన్స్మెంటల్ నాలెడ్జ్. 5th చాప్టర్లో ఇన్ ద 5th చాప్టర్ నిష్కామ కర్మయోగ అండ్ కర్మయోగ ఇంకా ఎలాబరేట్గా చెప్పడం జరిగింది. అందులోనే హీ మెన్షన్ అబౌట్ 3 doers, who are the 3 doers, and we are only having a right to desire, but we are not the people to fulfill whatever we desire. So super soul and prakriti are the other doers who do that. That's what we checked in the 5th chapter, and these desires are on the order of Krishna. So that's what we have seen in the 5th chapter. And in the 6th chapter, that is today, Ashtanga Yoga, which is a very difficult path, and the goal of Ashtanga Yoga is to meditate on the form of Vishnu, and it is a very tough one among all the yogis. Bhakta yogi is the topmost. That's what Krishna establishes in the 6th chapter. He ends the 6th chapter with, it's not that you can't reach God by performing Ashtanga Yoga. You can reach, but it's a very difficult path. Engaging senses in a devotional activity is much easier activity than troubling your senses, troubling different. My daddy చిన్నప్పుడు, when we were kids, he used to do a lot of asanas, and as kids he used to ask us to walk on his body. He used to sleep, and for massaging myself and my sister, he used to walk on his body backside, some massage kind of thing, and he used to do Shirshasana. Have you anyone of you done Shirshasana? Do you know what is Shirshasana? Head down, leg height, without support, without wall support also, on the air. Floor would be there, on the air you should do Shirshasana. My dad used to do Shirshasana. Very tough. So among all the yogas, Krishna establishes that Bhakti Yoga is the best in the 6th chapter end. Okay? So this is the end of the chapter. Any question? Next session is 7th chapter. Our Bhakti Yoga starts. I think we are going to... Any questions, by the way, before I stop the recording? Anyone has any questions in today's session? Bhakti Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. So there are a lot of... in yoga institutes whichever are there in the city, they might be going to only the first 4 asanas, first 4 Ashtanga Yoga systems, what Mataji mentioned, but last 4 generally they won't mention. For that you need to train a lot in forests and with other yogis generally. Okay. Any questions? Okay, then I will stop the session. Recording मैं stop करता हूँ.